Calling all small business owners, meet Communicart, a Rappler-led initiative where small businesses can advertise on Rappler's platforms at affordable rates. Get featured on our socials or through a listicle. How about an article? Let Rappler's discerning audience know about your business. Email us at communicart@rappler.com for more information.
You bring the world to people's doorsteps, whether it's their favorite dishes, much-needed essentials, or a quick retail pick-me-up. And now, you get to not only make it easier and more convenient for your customers, but also more securely, thanks to PayMaya's payment solutions. Your presence online has earned you constant customers, and it's now easier for them to buy what they want and need from you. PayMaya checkout can be easily integrated with your website to give your customers a secure and hassle-free payment experience. And if you're using an e-commerce platform like Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, or Cafe24, there is PayMaya checkout plugins to make online payment fuss-free. But even if you don't have a website, PayMaya still makes it easy for you to reach out to your customers with PayMaya Digital Invoice, where you can send a digital payment link or a digital payment QR through chat, text, or your social media account. What's more, by being a PayMaya merchant, your branded shop can be found at the Maya Mall inside the PayMaya app, instantly reaching millions of customers. But it's not just payments that PayMaya has made more convenient. Managing and monitoring all transactions are done on a single dashboard with PayMaya Manager. And once you've closed the deal, the payments you receive are credited to your account the next business day. You're building an empire, providing essential services, or just answering the demands of the people. Whatever it is, PayMaya is here to help you grow your online business.
She's not just beautiful. She's a force to be reckoned with.
I woke up feeling on top of the world, like nothing's ever gonna bring.
She shouldn't be put in a box, for she's extraordinary.
Got me flying high as a bird. I may never touch the ground.
She can be everything she wants to be, because she is a hero.
Cause it's a good day, good life. I just wanna celebrate.
She is unstoppable.
Grow your business and give your customers a flexible, hassle-free, and secure online checkout experience with just a click of a button. Power your e-commerce site or mobile app with PayMaya Checkout to accept credit cards, debit cards, and e-wallets. Unlock a new sales channel that is secure and reliable. PayMaya Checkout removes cash handling risks and keeps your transactions secure with world-class security standards. Now you can run your business more efficiently. PayMaya Checkout is easy to integrate. Plus, it provides you access to PayMaya Manager, a user-friendly dashboard that lets you easily manage your cash flow with detailed automated reports and notifications for all your sales transactions. So you can focus more on growing your business. Accept online payments securely, conveniently, and hassle-free with PayMaya Checkout. A new experience in payment acceptance delivered.
Mabuhay Pilipinas! Magandang hapon!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Shopify MeetUp Philippines. Woo!
Kamusta na po kayo or how are you? Thank you so much for taking the time to spend your Saturday with us. We are delighted to have so many Shopify and e-commerce enthusiasts joining with us today.
My name is Narissa Show, and I'm the co-founder of Filter.
And I am Acha Abe, the application analyst of Filta.
At Filter, our goal is to help global digital and e-com businesses compete in the ever-changing market by assisting people to build and manage global teams through full-time dedicated staffing in the Philippines.
Filta specializes in development, design, digital marketing, and e-commerce customer support. And as your hosts, we want to welcome you to the official virtual Shopify Philippines Meetup! Okay, guys, so we're going to check where you guys are from. We're going to launch a poll. So tell us where you are right now. So I've been seeing here in the chat before we even started that we have viewers from Australia, from Cebu. So let's check the poll right now. So currently we have a lot of viewers from the Philippines, of course. Then we have viewers from Australia. How about the others, guys? So currently we have more than 100 viewers today. Okay, so 94% is from the Philippines. So thank you everyone for joining us today.
So I know that I always say this, but it's very true. Filipinos are the most humble and industrious people on earth. So as an Australian, let me brag on your behalf. Philippines in November 2020 beat our own record for the world's largest Shopify meetup with over 1,000 people joining us online. Acha, can we beat the record today?
Well, Narissa, great news. We have over 6,000 people who registered today. So let's see if we can break that record. If this is your first time to a meetup, welcome and good to have you on board. Say hi in the chat. Let me know where you're from. Let us also know what company or organization you present. Shopify Meetups is a free educational series run by Shopify experts around the world in 32 countries and 94 cities.
So this was incredible. We had over 6,000 registrations. 42% of people who signed up are merchants, which is amazing. So this is a wonderful opportunity for you to let us all know in the chat room the link to your Shopify store. Let's support each other, create awareness, and make some money.
Woo!
Woo! So if you want your photo to be posted on our socials in memory of joining the largest Shopify meetup in the world. Take a selfie right now, showing that you're watching with us, and send it to marketingteam@filterglobal.com. You can also tag us on all your socials by using the hashtag #GrowWithFilter. And the first 100 people post their selfies and tag us with the hashtag #GrowWithFilter will receive a Shopify tote bag. Thank you, Shopify. 100 people are going to get this. Send us your selfies now.
Okay, so don't forget to tag us again with the hashtag #GrowWithFilter. So in the next few hours, you will be learning from 8 kick-ass local and international e-commerce Shopify experts to reveal the tips and strategies to drive your online store for the holiday season. The Philippines is known as the country with the longest Christmas celebration in the world. According to Business Mirror, 76% of Filipinos switched to online shopping during the pandemic, and 82% of Filipino shoppers look to online shops for their holiday shopping. This presents a huge opportunity for online business owners to earn more. Presenting our Shopify experts with their proven experience in the field, they will share their extensive knowledge in building e-commerce stores to success. And if you miss anything, do not worry. We will be sending you the recording by the end of next week via email, including, of course, a free e-certificate. So, hey guys, now moving on to launching the next poll. Why did you decided to attend this event? So we're very curious to know why you're interested in joining Shopify MeetUp. So, okay, so we're now seeing the results here. So first, the top result is I am thinking of starting a business on Shopify. That's really great to know because especially with the holiday season, a lot of Filipino shoppers, as I have mentioned, are looking to shop online. Next vote, we have a top 2. I am a developer, designer, and or digital marketer. So you can also share us the link to your Shopify store, the link to your LinkedIn, and one of our filter recruiters will be in contact with you. Next is, I think I have, I overlooked this. The top vote is neither. I want to learn more about e-commerce. That's really great. And we also have a vote here. Some people here are Shopify store owners. So that's really great. You will learn a lot from this meetup.
Fantastic. So we wouldn't be here today without our incredible, amazing sponsors. Huge shout out to Filter, Pioneer, PayMaya, and Gorgeous. And of course, our media partners, Rappler, Arslex Philippines Academy, and Unicasson PH. Elro Retail Corporation, the exclusive distributor of Brazilian footwear brands like Epinminar, Grand Hair, Rada, Zaxi, Cartago, and Azealia, is with us to give an exclusive preview of their newest addition to their brand portfolio, Isola, and a sneak peek to their newest collections. Later, you know we love giveaways here. You're going to get a chance to get first dibs on these new products before they're officially launched in the Philippines. Thank you so much. So let's check out the sponsor videos so you can see how these amazing companies can help you power your store.
Calling all small business owners, meet Communicart, a Rappler-led initiative where small businesses can advertise on Rappler's platforms at affordable rates. Get featured on our socials or through a listicle. How about an article? Let Rappler's discerning audience know about your business. Email us at communicart@rappler.com for more information.
You bring the world to people's doorsteps, whether it's their favorite dishes, much-needed essentials, or a quick retail pick-me-up. And now, you get to not only make it easier and more convenient for your customers, but also more securely, thanks to PayMaya's payment solutions. Your presence online has earned you constant customers, and it's now easier for them to buy what they want and need from you. PayMaya checkout can be easily integrated with your website to give your customers a secure and hassle-free payment experience. And if you're using an e-commerce platform like Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, or Cafe24, there is PayMaya checkout plugins to make online payment fuss-free. But even if you don't have a website, PayMaya still makes it easy for you to reach out to your customers with PayMaya Digital Invoice, where you can send a digital payment link or a digital payment QR through chat, text, or your social media account. What's more, by being a PayMaya merchant, your branded shop can be found at the Maya Mall inside the PayMaya app, instantly reaching millions of customers. But it's not just payments that PayMaya has made more convenient. Managing and monitoring all transactions are done on a single dashboard with PayMaya Manager. And once you've closed the deal, the payments you receive are credited to your account the next business day. You're building an empire, providing essential services, or just answering the demands of the people. Whatever it is, PayMaya is here to help you grow your online business.
She's not just beautiful. She's a force to be reckoned with.
I woke up feeling on top of the world, like nothing's ever gonna bring.
She shouldn't be put in a box, for she's extraordinary.
Got me flying high as a bird. I may never touch the ground.
She can be everything she wants to be, because she is a hero.
I just wanna celebrate, 'cause it's a good day, good life. I just wanna celebrate.
She is unstoppable.
Check the big car,
Grow your business and give your customers a flexible, hassle-free, and secure online checkout experience with just a click of a button. Power your e-commerce site or mobile app with PayMaya checkout to accept credit cards, debit cards, and e-wallets. Unlock a new sales channel that is secure and reliable. PayMaya checkout removes cash handling risks and keeps your transactions secure with world-class security standards. Now you can run your business more efficiently. PayMaya checkout is easy to integrate. Plus, it provides you access to PayMaya Manager, a user-friendly dashboard that lets you easily manage your cash flow with detailed automated reports and notifications for all your sales transactions. So you can focus more on growing your business. Accept online payments securely, conveniently, and hassle-free with PayMaya checkout. A new experience in payment acceptance delivered.
So before we keep going, we've got the big prize. It's a major competition. What's your dream online store? We've had a lot of mashup entries. What we're going to do is we're going to show you what you can win. So Rose is here to give you a sneak peek into what the winner wins. Let's play the video.
Hi guys, this is Rose. I am Toyota's Procurement Officer, and in this exciting video, I will show you what you will win in the Shopify MeetUp contest. So let's go and check out what Toyota has in store for you.
Of course, we have the Apple Pencil. This product is perfect for note-taking, marking documents, and digital drawing. This is most convenient to use during meetings, especially if you're on the go. And of course, this is perfect for our digital designers. And then next we have the Apple Magic Keyboard. This one is amazing for on-the-go work setup, and it doesn't even take up a lot of space. So this is a perfect combination for our Apple Pencil. And of course, Apple designed this perfectly for our last prize. All of the prizes we mentioned, they all perfectly complements the iPad Pro. And Filta is giving this away for our Shopify MeetUp contest.
If you want to win all of these, simply follow the mechanics in the comment section. And remember, all criteria must be met for you to qualify. If you have any questions regarding the promos, kindly message Filta's Facebook page and our digital team will be happy to assist you. We look forward to seeing you at the Shopify MeetUp PH Tips and Strategies to drive your online store towards the holiday season.
Oh, sorry, we are back on. So you can see that amazing competition. I can't wait to know who wins it right at the end of this webinar. And if you don't want to miss out, and more competitions are coming your way, stay till the end. And Acha, did we talk about that we're giving away e-certificates as well?
Yes, Teresa, if you guys just hopped in with us, we're giving free e-certificates, so please expect your e-certificate to be sent to your email within 7 days. You may also check your junk mail too for the e-certificate.
Woohoo! So before we get into our speakers, and I know you're desperate to hear from them, but we also want to say thank you for joining us on time by giving away some more competitions. So we've got an extra fun competition that you can join since you've been here from the beginning. We're going to be flashing 5 emojis. Jot them down, and at the end of the webinar, we'll ask you to write them in the comment section in the correct order. 20 winners will receive Grab food vouchers worth 300 pesos each from Filter.
Again, guys, remember to take note of these emojis in the correct order. It doesn't count if it's all mixed up. So we're playing emoji 1 right now. Okay, so you just had a little sneak peek of the next emoji, but remember, the first emoji, it doesn't count if it's not in the correct order. So as you can see, Ate Tala has shown the first emoji, and we really feeling that's the holiday season is coming right now. So we're also looking forward for our speakers today, and let's get right into it. Ever wondered how it's like to start an online business from scratch? It can be overwhelming and downright terrifying, especially that the holiday season has arrived. So let's bring in our first speaker, Angel De Jesus of PayMaya. So please come on stage, Angel.
Hi, Acha.
Hello, Angel. So take it away.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday so far. Let me just pull up my presentation. All good? Okay. So again, good afternoon. I'm Angel De Jesus, PayMaya's Merchant Growth Lead, to discuss these topics with you today. PayMaya is the only end-to-end digital payments ecosystem enabler in the Philippines. We equip small businesses up to large enterprises and even government institutions with cashless payments acceptance. On the other end, we also enable consumers who are banked, underbanked, and even unbanked to conveniently transact and pay cashless. We currently have over 38 million, number one largest non-bank payments processor for everyday merchants. PayMaya also has the nationwide digital payments touchpoints of over 300,000. And also with more than 57,000 agents, we have the widest digital remittance network. Now, with all of these, we are the digital FinServe platform of the Philippines, interlocking businesses serving customers, enterprises, government, and communities through top-rated consumer app, best-of-class merchant payment solutions, digital-enabled agent network, and soon digital financial services with Maya Bank. But before we dive deeper into our merchant payment solutions, let's briefly touch on our consumer platform, okay? Our PayMaya e-wallet app is one of the fastest ways to own a financial account. As highlighted earlier, PayMaya is not just for the banked, but also for the underbanked and even the unbanked. Through our app, users can easily send money, transfer funds to a bank account, cash in, pay bills, book transport, pay government fees, shop from over 350 merchant partners from PayMaya Mall, and also pay via QR. Now, let's move on to PayMaya's best-of-class open-loop merchant payment solutions. PayMaya is basically a one-stop shop for all payment needs across offline and online channels and in businesses of all sizes. For offline cashless payments acceptance, we have PayMaya QR and PayMaya One, a device allowing merchants to accept multiple modes of cashless payments with a wide range of fund sources from cards to e-wallets. Now, for online payments, we equip businesses in the e-commerce space with PayMaya checkout and plugins, digital invoicing, and Pay with PayMaya, or a proprietary solution enabling merchants to accept PayMaya e-wallet online payments from over 38 million users nationwide. We also have PayMaya Payout for your disbursements such as payroll, allowances, and incentives. And lastly, PayMaya Negosyo and Digital QR to allow acceptance of payments via e-wallets and bank transfers through InstaPay. Now, after getting acquainted with PayMaya's superior suite of payment solutions, let us focus on transitioning to e-commerce and equipping your online shop with PayMaya. Now, to know more about online solutions, let's watch this short video.
We're playing it now. Apologies.
No worries.
You bring the world to people's doorsteps, whether it's their favorite dishes, much-needed essentials, or a quick retail pick-me-up. And now, you get to not only make it easier and more convenient for your customers, but also more securely, thanks to PayMaya's payment solutions. Your presence online has earned you constant customers, and it's now easier for them to buy what they want and need from you. PayMaya checkout can be easily integrated with your website to give your customers a secure and hassle-free payment experience. And if you're using an e-commerce platform like Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, or Cafe24, there is PayMaya checkout plugins to make online payment fuss-free. But even if you don't have a website, PayMaya still makes it easy for you to reach out to your customers with PayMaya Digital Invoice, where you can send a digital payment link or a digital payment QR through chat, text, or your social media account. What's more, by being a PayMaya merchant, your branded shop can be found at the Maya Mall inside the PayMaya app, instantly reaching millions of customers. But it's not just payments that PayMaya has made more convenient. Managing and monitoring all transactions are done on a single dashboard with PayMaya Manager. And once you've closed the deal, the payments you receive are credited to your account the next business day. You're building an empire, providing essential services, or just answering the demands of the people. Whatever it is, PayMaya is here to help you grow your online business.
So now back onto the presentation. Okay, so allow me now to expound further rather on our online solutions to help you digitize payments. First off, PayMaya Checkout. So with PayMaya Checkout, you can accept any credit, debit, or prepaid card payments, e-wallets, and all emerging payment solutions in your app or your website. Here is a short video on PayMaya Checkout.
Grow your business and give your customers a flexible, hassle-free, and secure online checkout experience with just a click of a button. Power your e-commerce site or mobile app with PayMaya Checkout to accept credit cards, debit cards, and e-wallets. Unlock a new sales channel that is secure and reliable. PayMaya Checkout removes cash handling risks and keeps your transactions secure with world-class security standards. Now you can run your business more efficiently. PayMaya checkout is easy to integrate. Plus, it provides you access to PayMaya Manager, a user-friendly dashboard that lets you easily manage your cash flow with detailed automated reports and notifications for all your sales transactions. So you can focus more on growing your business. Accept online payments securely, conveniently, and hassle-free with PayMaya checkout. A new experience in payment acceptance delivered.
Now that the holidays is upon us, be sure to equip or get your e-commerce stores ready to accept a lot of online payments from a lot of Filipinos online shopping as early as now, right? Okay, so moving on, PayMaya digital invoicing. Now, this allows you to accept payments and keep all the transactions going even without a website or an app. So you can bill your customers, send a link to your billing invoice through a portal, and of course, accept card and e-wallet payments online. And as mentioned in one or in some of the previous videos, we also have PayMaya Manager to allow you to view and manage all transactions in a single portal. This is a user-friendly dashboard that lets merchants easily manage cash flow with detailed and automated reports and notifications. So now let's talk about going digital. There are a number of benefits of going digital. Number one, it makes your business more agile. Since you're now online, customers can reach you any time of the day, wherever they are, with just their mobile devices. For you, you can attend to their orders, inquiries, or concerns 24/7. Next, convenience for your customers. Being able to offer customers with the widest range of payment options, be it via QR, bank transfer, credit card, debit card, prepaid cards, or e-wallets helps you make their purchases and payments more convenient for them. Also, safety for your customers and employees. Today, we must continue to practice low touch or even better, contactless transactions and lessen cash handling. Digital payments make it safer for all. Also, it increases your business efficiency. Using digital payment solutions improves your overall business efficiency as you can easily track your transactions. It also helps you to establish a good financial housekeeping practices among your employees. Next, better insights about your customers. This is very important. With digital tools, you can better understand your customers' purchasing behavior. And with this, you can create better business and marketing strategies that can help you avoid or decrease cart abandonment rate and ultimately increase your sales and your brand presence. And last, but definitely not the least, brand affinity. Having the capability to accept digital payments is a mark of a progressive business. Your branding will become stronger because you are equipped with reliable and reputable payment acceptance solutions. And once you've already transitioned to e-commerce, you can take your business to the next level with PayMaya Scale-Up program. Here, you can get a chance to win as much as 200,000 pesos in the raffle promo with just 3 easy steps. Number 1, get a PayMaya payment gateway for your Shopify store. 2, register to the program via the official registration form. And last but not the least, just accept online payments for your store so you can earn raffle entries and increase your chances of winning. Also, watch out for the Scale-Up show that we're launching in December to get a chance to win additional investment money for your business of up to 650,000 pesos. And with that, let me leave you with one note. Going digital benefits not just you and your business, but ultimately it creates better value to your customers. Again, with the holidays upon us, this is the perfect timing to go digital. Again, this has been Angel De Jesus. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Angel. That's really helpful and insightful. We have here 2 questions that are sent in advance. So for our live viewers, you may put your questions in the chat. So Angel, are you ready for these questions?
Shoot, go ahead.
Okay, so the first question we have here, given the risks of online transactions, are there any significant tips on how we can further protect our payment information when buying or selling online?
Okay, so as consumers, the best way to make sure that you protect your information is to only transact with legitimate and verified sellers who are powered by reputable payment gateways or processors, right? Now, when selling online, getting reliable payment solutions for your business that come with fraud tools minimize the risk of fraudulent transactions. At the end of the day, apart from making sure that control measures are in place, having a reliable and reputable middleman to process your payments or sales helps protect you.
Okay, great. There's a follow-up question regarding to that. So with the emerging trend of cash on delivery or COD, what is the best way for businesses to protect themselves from scams or no-show customers and the like?
Wow, this has been very rampant nowadays, right? With the surge of online transactions and online payments after or during the pandemic. Now, on a business standpoint, having strict measures and policies in place to ensure that you only transact with legitimate buyers is actually key, right? You can do background checks, you can do search or scroll over their social media profile so that you can make sure that these customers are actually real buyers and real people, right? But also encouraging your customers to transition to cashless payments is a good thing. More often than not, customers opt to do cash on delivery because they want to make sure to receive their orders before paying, right? So you can earn your customers' trust by increasing your brand affinity, as I've mentioned earlier, and by giving them peace of mind that they can safely and securely pay for their transactions with you cashless.
That is really helpful. Yes. Thank you so much, Angel. So thank you again, Angel. So Angel is going to stick around in the chat. So continue to ask your questions there. Thank you, Angel.
Thank you, everyone.
Hi. Thanks so much, Angel. We appreciate it. Welcome back, everyone, to the Shopify MeetUp. Woo! Okay, so if you've just joined, my name is Marissa Show, co-founder of Filter.
And I am Acha Abe, the application analyst of Filter, helping Filipinos get development, digital, design, and customer support jobs, and we are your hosts. We want to continue the Shopify love, guys, so please put the link to your Shopify store in the chat box and let's support each other.
And now, over to you. Flo, can't wait to hear you speak. We were blessed to have you last year, so thank you. Welcome to the stage.
Thanks so much for having me once again. So let me just pull up my tab. 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right. Let me know if you can see it. Let me just make sure that we are expanding the window. There we go. Okay, so let me just pull it once again. All right. So hi, everyone. Thanks so much, Narissa and team, for having me once again. And great presentation from Angel and PayMaya team. So my name is Flo. I'm the Business Development Manager for Google Philippines. And I've actually been in Google for more than 6 years now. Right? And I've helped numerous businesses grow over the last many years that I've been with the business across Southeast Asia, across verticals, big or small. So it's really indeed a huge honor to be here with you today, especially when the recent team told me how many of you actually registered. Okay, so before I actually begin today's presentation, I actually want to point us to this link over here, right? Where a few months ago, Team Google actually brought to market a huge digital event covering our perspectives on the commerce space and the ever-evolving landscape, right? It's a 3-hour event covering some of Google APAC's top leadership, actually, right? And what you'll hear today actually will just be a subset of that session, right? Hopefully leaving you and all of us with some food for thoughts rather than really just spoon-feeding 6,000 people in this room with a singular strategy, right? Given also I only have a limited amount of time with you, right? And also, unfortunately, I have not had the huge honor and privilege to have met most of us here, right? So highly recommend, go watch it. I will have this QR code again at the end of the session. So today I'll be covering 3 main things, right? Hopefully providing us once again with some food for thoughts surrounding the overarching landscape of commerce and how you can also adapt right, with all these wealth of information packed into your business plans. So it is a surprise to no one, but the world as we know it, right, has changed, right? It has presented numerous challenges, but with it, of course, many opportunities as well. The retail industry, more than any other industry, actually has undergone a massive digital transformation. And it has done so in order to meet the demand that has come online, right? So in 2020 alone, we've experienced 10 years worth of e-commerce growth in just 3 months, right? That's just phenomenal, right? And notably was the sheer amount of new shoppers in Southeast Asia and the stickiness of their online shopping behavior in Southeast Asia. Over a third of 2020's online commerce was generated by new shoppers in Southeast Asia, right? What we call new to online, or moving from browsing and communicating to purchasing. 9 in 10 new shoppers intend to continue using digital services moving forward, embracing the convenience and helpfulness discovered via online. So given the magnitude and the sustenance of this generational shift, Google has since coined this, what we call the great retail migration. So the first part of today's presentation actually is to help us uncover this fast evolving retail landscape and to share how your business can actually drive this sustainable growth going forward. There we go. Oopsie. So what are the three key trends, right, in the great retail migration? So we've seen traditional and omni-channel retailers redefining the shopping experience across channels. We see also new and offline sellers converging on online marketplaces to meet these rising demands. And lastly, we see a new wave of what we call direct-to-consumer native brands and direct-to-consumer investments from established brands to building direct relationship with customers. You can be one of them, right? So the first one, in slightly more depth, many retailers actually are aggressively elevating their online presence as it becomes its more key channel to ensure business sustainability. Specifically, so the online grocery sector, right, in particular, took the greatest leap in 2020, right, accounting for 11% of Southeast Asia's e-commerce GMV, up from just 4% in 2015. The grocery sector is also the sector that we saw the highest percentage of new online customers, 47% versus the Southeast Asia average of only 33%, right? So buying and delivering groceries have been reimagined during the pandemic. So while many established marketplaces and grocery chains opted to develop their own platforms, others also worked hand in hand with distribution partners to expanding their presence. For example, HappyFresh, right, was founded in 2014 as an online grocery delivery service, now working with over 400 grocery and specialty stores across Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia. Other omni-channel retailers are also rebalancing their shopping experience across channels, right, as shopping behavior took an unexpected turn due to the pandemic. So in-store these days became much more functional. All right, we can see here with Decathlon and Watsons, people want to get in and out, not just browse around the products anymore. Right, we see fewer trips, larger basket sizes when going, right, to physical stores, and less time being spent in store. Online, though, has become much more experiential, right? While the social aspects of shopping are not easily replicated for customers, many have embraced the relaxation aspect of enjoying online research, finding more personalized products and brands, and exploring different products that they wouldn't have otherwise considered in store or visiting malls, right? And learning something new every single time. So that brings me to really the second pillar over here, right? As shoppers continue to shop online, brands and sellers also are converging on online marketplaces to capturing this rising demand. We've observed sustained search interest for seller-related queries such as selling online and becoming a seller, just like all of us in this room today, right? Not surprisingly, some of the established online marketplaces have also captured a lot of this retail tailwind. So we can see here in the screen, Shopee Mall actually now features over 23,000 international and local brands, up from just only 200 back in 2017. In fact, the top 3 marketplaces actually now account for nearly 80% of the total e-commerce GMV in Southeast Asia, and all of them continue to see strong growth on platform usage, with daily active users, we call DAUs, growing north of 30% based on the 3-year CAGR, right? And lastly, really, these leads us to really the direct to consumer space, right? As online channel gains in prominence, consumers also expect brands in the digital space, right, to have a heightened expectation, right? We can see here the demand for a better online experience. Actually, 7 in 10 consumers expect online retailers to personalize how they interact with them. Consumers are also 2 times more likely to engage directly with brands that offer distinct value from retailers. So the online D2C natives especially live up to these expectations, right? Are those that we see that capture the rise of these consumer first brands, right? So Pomelo, for example, started out as an online digital native in Thailand, selling apparels, clothes, fashion. It has now expanded to over 43 countries and having physical retail stores in 4 markets, right? And this was very phenomenal for a direct to consumer brand, right? For us, especially so since Pomelo actually is our key client over here. In parallel, we also see a new wave of online D2C investments from leading brands, right? Nike and Unilever on this screen, right? Many of these brands are now revamping and elevating their online direct-to-consumer platforms in order to build direct relationships and winning in customer loyalty. So take the left side, for example, Nike, right? Nike is actually reducing its wholesale accounts with retail partners out there and focusing on a strong direct-to-consumer strategy, right, with its Nike digital store. So by investing in their first-party data analytics, they actually have been able to move beyond single transactions and dig into active membership statistics and expanding on their lifetime customer value, what we call LTV. Unilever, on the other hand, actually beyond some beyond having some high-profile direct-to-consumer acquisitions, right, like Dollar Shave Club, Grace, right, they also introduced U-Store in Philippines and Sri Lanka, right, which is a direct online store that allows them to feature their own products across all these categories, and Unilever has a lot of them, and allowing them to also continue to establish themselves as a top hygiene and essential product brand with strict hygiene standards in packaging and delivery. Right, so executing such a successful D2C strategy actually yields multitudes of benefits, which we will explore in some of the subsequent sessions. Right, so Nike CEO actually put it really, really nicely, right, in their earnings call just last year. Customers who are connected with Nike or on 2 or more platforms has a lifetime value that is 4 times higher than those who don't. So maybe we can take reference from some of these emerging leading brands, right, in really establishing our own strategy for our own e-commerce businesses. So with all these ecosystem best practices shared, right, we can see actually what this North Star looks like. And I actually want to share 3 reasons why it is more important than ever to invest in building your own brand, right, for the longevity of your own business. We can see here, firstly, right, we can see the reality of last year really just redefining the entire shopping experience and behavior, right, transforming how users actually discover and buy new products. By the end of last year, actually, many stores are still closed, right, across Southeast Asia, and everyone is trying to go online for discovery, and 70% of Southeast Asians actually said that they've discovered new products and brands actually on YouTube, right? The whole pandemic has also changed how the entire shopping experience ideals, right? With 63% of us wanting to try on products from the comforts of our own home because it's safe. Even the traditional brick and mortar CPG space, consumer packaged goods, right, have been disrupted with 74% of us say we bought more CPG products online. Right, and as I've shared earlier, this shift will be a sustained one, right? People continue to seek, discover ideas and inspiration online, even when they aren't actively looking, right? So this new normal requires retail brands and SMBs alike to speak to consumers earlier in their purchase cycles and showcase what makes you ultimately as a brand unique. So we can see here something interesting, right? Additional shifts in really how consumer mindsets have been across brands, right? And in the beginning of the pandemic, we were actually experiencing very high anxiety, wanted to feel safe, comforted, and as a result, turned to trusted brands, right? That we all know. So the mindset reflect in the search growth of branded terms, right, in shopping categories, actually, allowing them to surpass the generic ones in the first half of last year. And this year, actually, though, that has changed and shifted. Right? We need more choice and we need more variety as users and consumers these days. And therefore, demonstrating actually lower brand loyalty. So much so that 30% of shoppers surveyed say they actually purchased a brand that was new to them. Right? I've personally bought so many new products that I've never tried before, right? Not brands that I've known before. Right? We can see this shift actually play out clearly through the growth of generic terms in the graph. Right? And this actually creates new opportunities for new customer acquisition, right? And for SMBs or MNCs alike, right? To really thrive in this and changing ecosystem, right? And really benefit out of this onset of the trends that we are seeing. So while we are all becoming as consumers less loyal, last year also triggered us to reevaluate our relationships with brands, and we are more discerning about how we actually spend our money, right? So some research, extra research once again, right? 53% of us place importance in buying brands that actually align to our personal values over the products themselves, right? Consumers also prioritize those that are doing good, right? Those brands that are doing good and being helpful in the context of the pandemic. And we also have elevated expectations around the whole experience, right? 57% of the consumers say brands actually should provide an immersive shopping experience. So as a retail brand, right, or selling things, products especially, so you need to really understand these heightened standards and really stand out by meeting and communicating with the end consumers and users to really give them a strong reason to engage with you. So some of these great examples actually, right, that we have seen across the entire pandemic period actually is one, IKEA. They have this I'm Staying Home campaign, right, to really remind people of the stable worlds they had already created at home as the world around them shift, right? The second one actually is Fair Price, which is Singapore's largest supermarket chain, who introduced stores on wheels to get essentials to underserved communities as their online services are struggling to cope with the demand, right? And lastly, really, Shopify. Shopify has actually evolved over the pandemic and now introduced the ability for all its customers, merchants like ourselves, to add 3D models to product pages. That's actually quite a feat, right? And based on all our studies, right, done with Kanta, along with renowned brand marketing professionals like Byron Sharp, who's written a book, in order to grow in the longer term, actually retailers need to balance long-term brand building with short-term activations. Okay, Bennett and Fields, which is another research house we did research with, right, actually looked into the marketing effectiveness, right, and sales activations actually do create short-term sales uplift, right? It's an effect that dominates for about 6 months, but actually long-term sales growth is achieved via brand building. This is because brand building and activation works in synergy hand in hand, each enhancing the other and ultimately creating strong brands who get much higher response rates from the activation channels. And effectiveness seems to optimize when around 60% of the comms budget is devoted to brand building and around 40% for activation, right? But that differs across verticals and, at the life stage that you're in as well. So we are still in times of unprecedented uncertainty, right? COVID is still around and stuff, right? But as past experiences also show, brands that maintain or grow their share of voice tend to do better than their rivals in the long term. So some examples, right? 08, right? It was a brands that really held their nerve and continued to invest in brand building. They bounced back actually 9 times faster when recovery came, right? And if we look back even further in time during the recessions in the 90s, those who continued to invest in brand actually enjoyed higher profits, like Nike, right? Whose advertising expenditure actually increased despite the recession, right? And allowing them to grow from a $750 million company to now being a $4 billion company, right? With 900% higher profits. There's just so many of such examples over time, right? Especially in today's context, if we are building or trying to build a business for the longer run. So what can we all do now, right? For the longer run, ultimately. So more immediately, there are 2 things that I highly recommend us look into, right? For the future of all our businesses out there. Right, one is integrate and synthesize. The second one is really capture the video audience. So today's event is called Shopify MeetUp Philippines, and that's the very reason why we're all here today, right? So actually, without over introducing Shopify, we probably know who they are. They're an e-commerce company, right? E-commerce business, right? But they are also big in fulfillment, payments, so on and so forth. And they really ultimately offer the full commerce stack, right? And why is having your own web store important, right? Google conducted actually a study earlier this year with Ipsos and Six Factor, right, and showed that brand websites actually play an increasingly important role in how people shop. Despite having a relative nascent direct-to-consumer ecosystem here in Southeast Asia, 1 in 3 shoppers in Southeast Asia actually are visiting branded websites in their path to purchase. And one of the most interesting insight the research points us to is that your brand's web presence actually meets the consumer needs at the critical consideration stage of the funnel. And as marketers, we know that consideration is one of the most elusive matrix to influence, right? Try and consider us instead of another competitor, for example, right? And this is really a very digital age sort of observation, right? And so the important question for all of us to ask ourselves is, how do we show up online to consumers curious to learn more about you as a brand, and that you can be an invaluable lever to really helping them solve a problem? And looking forward, really, as the direct-to-consumer ecosystem continues to grow, we expect brand websites to play an even greater role in the near future across its core retail categories. In fact, our research participants told us that exactly on the slide that you're seeing. So why do shoppers actually turn to brand websites, right, in their path to purchase? So based on market research, right, in partnership with Ipsos and Six Factor, once again, right, we narrowed down to key 3 reasons. Right, shoppers ultimately are trying to seek a holistic brand experience, unparalleled assurance, and ultimately personalized connections from these brand websites. So doing so allows ultimately you to own and curate the full brand experience for your existing customers and to articulate your brand proposition, right, to winning potential new customers. We've seen also the possibility of getting up to 20% premium, right? When people trust and want to buy your products more than just from any other place, right? Which also means better margins with the assurance that you're ultimately giving them from your brand website. And lastly, really a 2 times increase in basket size with 20% more likelihood for shoppers to actually promote the brand, right? And this is actually done by a study from BCG, actually a leading strategy consulting company. So these all ties back to really when the pandemic started, right? Google really wanted to do one thing, right? To be helpful for as many partners and clients as possible out there across Southeast Asia and around the world. So our global team actually had the huge honor and privilege to partner Shopify back in April last year. You can see on the article on the right side of the slide today. And at the height of the pandemic, offering free listings for Shopify merchants, all right, on the very place where millions of people search for answers every single day, which is Google, right? All you need is actually a Shopify account, a Google Merchant Center account, and you're good to go, right? And since launch, actually, we've seen so much growth in merchant signups, so much growth in merchants' GMV, right? And subsequently also seen how the onboarding actually was hugely reduced, right? The onboarding time, right, was hugely reduced, thereby generating a lot more efficiencies for all our merchants out there. And you can see here just some samples of where this integration will actually bring you, right, on a visual point of view. So the second thing that is crucial, and especially so to today's Philippines and around the world, actually is YouTube. We had another event just a couple of months back called YouTube Brandcast, right, where we showcase the impact of YouTube on today's digital ecosystem. Once again, it's another great wealth of information, and I highly recommend you drop by after this as well. Right, QR code is on this slide. I'll refresh it before I finish my presentation. But some statistics and insights for us to ponder over, right, is firstly, YouTube now reaches over 45 million people in Philippines specifically. Right, and actually this grew from about 20 million pre-pandemic when I first joined the team, right? And this actually puts YouTube front right center of everything video related, whether it's on desktop, mobile, or increasingly so connected TVs. Watch time actually has skyrocketed 25% year on year through the pandemic, even on an already large watch time base that YouTube already has, right? We are still growing, and the big question to ask ourselves today is, are you there on YouTube? So content being uploaded onto YouTube has 4 times year on year, right? It demonstrates the scalability of the platform when it comes to user protection, content recommendations, and product discovery, most importantly, right? All these done through our machine learning algorithms that provide your buyers with the most relevant content in real time. So having all these data to really fact check the growth of the platform is great, but what does this mean for all of us in this room today, right? In order for your brands to be thought of, you got to get noticed. And a lot of the discovery actually begins on YouTube, according to our research done globally. 90% of people actually say they actually discover new products on YouTube, making this the best place for all of us to start our journey. And with 2 billion logged in users globally and about 45 million plus by the time that we are having this presentation today, users in Philippines, YouTube is really where your customers are at, right? And with the kind of reach that YouTube enjoys, along with the ultimate intention to watch content, instead of just browsing and swiping through content, it enables you as businesses to actively reach and talk to a majority of potential existing and new customers. So why is this synergy so important, right? 85% of online consumers will take a product-related action actually within 24 hours of finding that product, right, that meets their needs. So it's crucial thereafter to really close this gap in the most efficient way possible. And really, the power of Google plus YouTube plus Shopify pulled together gives us a way to be able to do that smoothly. And you may ask, right, Flo, but I'm actually not a content creator, I'm a brand, right? And actually during the Think-Commerce event, if you do watch it, we actually featured one of our brands, right, which is a brightest star in the e-commerce space over here in Southeast Asia, Razer, right? They are the world's leading lifestyle brand for gamers. They have more than 125 million gamers using their software. And during the pandemic, right, when the demand for a comfortable work from home environment accelerated massively, they also saw tremendous growth in their demand of their products. So they are one of the many brands, right, along the likes of L'Oreal, Apple, and of course, I've also experienced and seen a lot of SMB brands who made YouTube the place where they showcase their products, services, their stories, their value proposition, and thereby allowing them to build a brand personality, right? We actually have many of these small businesses here in Southeast Asia, Singapore and Vietnam especially, right? Each with millions of organic views. I'm not kidding. It's really mind-blowing. And of course, right, in the spirit of synthesizing everything together, you're also able to eventually string up the product feeds that you have from Shopify with YouTube. Right, how you ask me is a story for another day, or you can actually just contact Google support team for guidance, right, or search it up, right, on Google. So, but once you've integrated everything through and through, we can see here how on top of Razer's organic videos in capturing a captive audience, they actually married it with their feeds and using a YouTube product, right, to really driving ROI, huge numbers, all on the slides that you're seeing. So, as I mentioned earlier, right, 3 hours of content in Think-Commerce 2021 actually covers a breadth of topics, right, from creative, branding, measurement, first-party data, apps. And unfortunately, with our limited time today on a Saturday, I don't want to hold you back, right? I can't cover everything and I can only scratch the surface. So we have seen the trends and insights, right, today, right, surrounding the retail landscape in Southeast Asia. We have also seen how crucial it is to stand out in the midst of this noisy commerce landscape, especially in trying to win the race to the bottom, right? Lastly, we've introduced you to 2 huge platforms. One is Google Shopping and the other one is YouTube, that you could potentially prioritize in the coming months and years in enabling your journey into 2022 and beyond. We've also touched on 2 large Google events that has happened over the last couple of months, right? For your homework, right, after today's session, Think-Commerce and YouTube Brandcast. All right, hopefully these leaves more food for thoughts, inspirations, and really action items for what needs to be done for your respective business accordingly. So with that, thank you. That's it from me.
Woo! Thank you. That was amazing as always. I have learned so much. That was incredible. I can't wait to watch this particular presentation back. Now, are you open for a few questions?
Let's go.
All right, so everyone, we had people send in questions in advance of today's presentation. So Flo, my first question from Anonymous, actually they're all from Anonymous, which is good. What immediate improvements can be done to improve my business?
Wow, it's a very broad question, but I'll try to zoom
Very
it
broad.
down because
Yeah.
you can always improve on ops, payments, your placements, your inventory, your value proposition, and so on and so forth. But if you ask me if there's one magic bullet that hopefully addresses 6,000 people's questions, right, is really try to integrate your Shopify account with as many of these integration partners as possible, right? Whether it's with Google or other media partners, right? These would be a very good first step in especially so bringing across really your products and services on as many free placements as possible. That's really what I would say.
Love it. No, that's fantastic. This was a really interesting question. In your own perspective, what would be the biggest concern about online shopping right now?
Wow, personal opinion or a company's opinion?
If you're allowed to say companies as well, please tell us.
No, personal opinion. I just feel like it's gonna encourage a very long-term sort of hate space of over consumerism. Actually, that's my personal opinion. So really, with the fight for attention, not just getting our products out there, but really, if we take a step back, philosophically speaking, how do we continue to sell or have products and services that ultimately deliver the value to what users actually want? So, food for thought. That's my philosophical answer.
Excellent. I think we've got time for 2 more questions. One of them was getting more seen is important for sure. What should we prioritize? Fixing keywords or backlinks?
Well, I don't think there's a one size fit all solution at the end of the day, if you ask me. It's a little bit of everything, and it really depends ultimately on your business and the life cycle you're at. Personally, I would say if you are doing ads, right, contact the Google support team. They are really a phenomenal help. That's where I came from, actually, right? So chat in with us, and really from there, we can provide actual guidance, respectively, specifically to your ad account, right? Specifically to your business after we have evaluated the whole thing around your website, your presence, and so on and so forth.
Excellent. And the last question, Flo, how's it like to transition from business operations to sales? And what advice would you give to your old self or younger self who's just starting in this journey?
The first part I'll answer first. So the transition definitely has been quite an interesting one, right? Doing support, then subsequently going to the sales role or account management role. But I think one thing doesn't change is really how do I ultimately help as many of my businesses out there at scale, right? We are a very lean team here in Google, and every single day people need help, right? So every single day we run into the challenge of how do we best provide that level of service and satisfaction to businesses, to as many businesses across Southeast Asia as possible, right? Give you context, right? In the 2.5 years that I was in the support role, I actually addressed 4,000 different people's questions, right? That's the kind of scale we are thinking about or talking about, where we really provide as much help to even the last, the lost, the least. And I think that's something that is right? That is something that in the hate space perspective, I've brought through to sales as well, right? And account management to really be able to think on behalf of my customers, my brands, and my agency partners ultimately in really delivering the right amount of value that ultimately is what my clients want from me. The second part of the answer, right? Sorry, what's the question again? Remind me.
No, you're doing really, really well. It was basically talking about your transition from business ops to sales, and then what's your advice to your old self who's starting?
Right. I would say work smart, prioritize. At the end of the day, whether you're merchants, businesses, or even if you're working for a company, really work smart and prioritize is what I would say. At the end of the day, everything, everywhere, everyone is very noisy, right? Find the mentors, the coaches, the people, the communities that you truly entrust yourself with, right? So that you can help each other prioritize based on learnings and best practices, right? And past challenges, especially, to really accelerating your learning, your growth, whether it's for yourself or for your business, right, in the right direction. And I think that's something that I would still definitely remind myself as an advice from here on, actually.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. And thank you. I believe you're still joining us from Singapore. Is that right?
Yes, I am. Hope everyone is safe over there in Philippines and where you are from.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being so generous. You will be able to have access to Flo's and Angel's presentation through the video recording delivered in the next 7 days. So thank you again, Flo. Thank you so much for joining us. See you later. Bye. So if you've just joined us, hello, hello, hello. I'm Narissa. So lovely to meet you. I'm the co-founder of Filter. If you haven't yet, you've still got an opportunity to send your selfies and tag Grow with Filter, or email them to marketingteam@filterglobal.com, and you might just win one of these tote bags. Woohoo!
Here, guys, tote bags.
Woo! That's awesome, Archer.
Yeah, okay. So before we introduce our third speaker, in the Filter emoji competition, we will launch emoji number 2. So again, jot it down, and at the end of the webinar, we'll ask you to write the 5 emojis in the comment section in the correct order. And 20 winners, yes, you heard it right, 20 winners will receive Grab Food vouchers worth 300 pesos each from Filter. So we're going to launch emoji 2 right now. Okay, don't forget the first and the second emoji. So now let's bring in Bonnie Brady, the Partnerships and Business Development Manager for Payoneer. Welcome to the stage, Bonnie.
Thank you for having me.
Take it away.
Wonderful. So thank you so much. Look, hi everyone. My name is Bonnie Brady and I'm the Partnerships and Business Development Manager for Payoneer. Payoneer is the world's largest B2B cross-border payments platform. So it's fantastic to be speaking at the world's largest Shopify Meetup in partnership with Filter. We are a really large global organization with teams based all around the world, including the wonderful Philippines. In fact, today I actually am joined by some of the team there. So if you see Robert from Payoneer Philippines or Rachel from Payoneer Australia in the chat, please don't hesitate to direct a question at them, as they're on hand to assist or provide any context to our business and answer questions as we go through today. So a big thank you to Rachel and Robert. Look, before I dive into Payoneer and our position within the market and how we work with Shopify merchants all around the world, I do just want to touch on the commerce evolution and the current market landscape and cross-border trade opportunity for e-commerce. Can I just start off by saying, though, how cool is commerce evolution? Gone are the days of the yellow page phone books or only shopping on the high street. We're living in a digital age now where at your fingertips, you've got the ability to book a holiday on Airbnb to Hawaii, or order delicious food on Food Panda via Grab, or grab a delivery from Lala Move, or even jump in an Uber and head to BGC for some late night shopping. There's no doubt about it. The last 18 months has been what I like to say transformative. COVID-19 has affected a wide variety of different industries, and it's absolutely no secret that e-commerce is one of them. We've all heard the growth acceleration stats and the opportunities which sellers are now presented and can capitalize on. So I'm not going to go into it in too much depth in terms of the ins and the outs, because I do think that we all know it and we've heard it through many a presentation before. However, I do think there are some fantastic global stats that I do just want to quickly call out. Now, the first one is that number on the left-hand side of the screen. 4.9 trillion is the expected global e-commerce sales figure for 2021. That's a pretty significant number. But what's even more significant is the expected growth over the next 3 years is 30%. That's 10% growth year on year. So although countries are, returning to some form of normality again, whatever normal means these days, and we're seeing bricks and mortar stores open back up, the way that the consumers have adapted and adopted to buying online, I can't imagine is going to disappear anytime soon, as the e-commerce industry is just continuing to flourish and just go from strength to strength. If we move over to the third stat on the slide, you'll see just below the image of those bright red shoes that they're predicted, that it's predicted that 3.79 trillion in sales will be conducted on a mobile device globally in 2022. I'm sure that this growth stat is very applicable to the Philippine market. Most Filipinos access the internet via their mobile phone, as it does provide a really cost-effective and consistent internet access. I read some data when I was pulling this presentation together for the Shopify Filipino Meetup. It was presented by Globe Telecom and PLTD. That showed that 149.5 million mobile subscribers were based in the Philippines, which makes sense because Filipinos are prolific users of social media. In fact, it is recognized that Philippines is one of the top countries for internet users worldwide in terms of their social media consumption. 4 hours on mobile per day and 5.2 hours on desktop and tablet, which well and truly explains why traditional marketing companies have emerged with marketing techniques that well and truly include the use of social media and want to capitalize on it. So what I just want to point out here is that smart and savvy e-commerce businesses are turning to digital marketing to reach these media consumers and potential customers. E-commerce growth in the Philippines is due to that rise of middle class, the high consumer spend, and that young and vibrant tech-savvy population that I just mentioned before. According to the World Bank, the Philippines is one of the most dynamic economies in the East Asia Pacific region. So there's absolutely opportunity and market for you as an e-commerce business to capitalize on. However, what I will say and sort of counteract to this, that expanding your business outside of your home market is definitely something, that should be considered. I really appreciate that, it is a daunting experience, but it is one that can be really fruitful due to the opportunities that other markets present. Now, there are lots of other markets that you can consider and pick from, whether it be the UK and Europe or South America, or even down under Australia and New Zealand where I am based. But what I just want to hone into today on this slide is the US market specifically. This slide highlights the growth that the US market has seen with e-commerce over the past decade. 1 in every 10 had never purchased online prior to that global pandemic. Yet we know that the global pandemic saw people locked down in their homes, and savvy e-commerce businesses or large marketplaces like your Amazons of the world have really quick and easy fulfillment services, which ultimately enable them to get those household items or luxury goods delivered to them without even needing to leave their homes. So it's definitely fair to say that the COVID-19 pandemic most definitely accelerated e-commerce purchases in the United States. So I would definitely, stop and consider as a Shopify seller, what other markets you could look to expand into, and the USA being one that obviously has, ripe shoppers that are ready to jump on and potentially purchase your goods. So Payoneer, who are we and what ultimately do we do, and how do we fit into that wonderful ecosystem of e-commerce? So look, at a glance, we've been around since 2005. We have got 24 offices worldwide, with our head office being based in the fantastic New York City. The company processed $44 billion in payments last year, and we serviced 5 million businesses globally, with a really large portion of them being e-commerce merchants, just like yourself. We do have dedicated teams all around the world who are on hand to assist merchants with streamlining their global payments, including the Philippines. Because we've been around since 2005, we've ultimately grown up with e-commerce, and we really understand it. Shopify actually was founded in 2006 when Tobias, or Toby as you might know him, attempted to open up an online store in 2004 for snowboarding equipment when he was ultimately dissatisfied with the existing e-commerce platforms on the market. So where I'm getting at with this little analogy is we have grown up with e-commerce in the same timeline as one of your world's largest e-com vendors, being Shopify. As they've grown, we grow, and we're constantly evolving to provide, those new features and functionalities that global sellers need to be successful. Ultimately, working with those Shopify merchants like yourself is Payoneer's core bread and butter. Excitingly, Payoneer in June 2021, goodness gracious, we went public on the NASDAQ, which is a really huge milestone for us. And I think, any business that gets to this size and scale, it's something to really be celebrated. So that's something that we did do all around the world, including our team based in the Philippines as well. You'll also see on the left-hand side of this slide that we announced this year our global partnership with eBay, where we assist them with paying their sellers globally. Now, just to give you a little bit more context on that eBay piece, so Payoneer, we facilitate the mass payouts for over 2,500 marketplaces worldwide. What that means is we send tens of billions of dollars to sellers, freelancers, content creators, homeowners, or drivers worldwide. Payoneer is not a gateway per se, and I just want to make that really clear. Each marketplace on the screen has their own gateway. However, once the funds have been collected by the gateway, that's where we come into play. So we do that FX conversion for them, where we convert from one currency to another before we pay out to the marketplace vendor. So, for example, USD to GBP. The reason that I do like to show this slide is because I believe it really showcases our size of our business and also the scalability of our product. But it also showcases, on the other hand, the global infrastructure that we have from a risk, a KYC, and also a compliance perspective. We're trusted by some of the world's largest businesses, whether it be your Googles, your Facebooks, your Airbnbs, your Amazons, your Shoppies, or your Lazadas of the world, and many, many more, including some, pretty heavy e-commerce businesses based right in the heart of the Philippines. You might recognize some of the brands, whether it be Sunny's Face, Skin Food, or Nature Republic that I've got up on the screen here. So these are some of our clients that utilize us. So ultimately, Payoneer, our mission is to provide Shopify merchants with the resources that they need to be successful and ultimately navigate this digital world, or what I referred to before being that commerce evolution that we have gone through, whether it be, for your cross-border payments or being a springboard for helping businesses with their global growth. So in simple terms, Payoneer provides Shopify merchants the ability to get paid like a local, as if you were living in the market that you're trading in. With Payoneer, there's absolutely no need to fly in country to open up a foreign currency bank account, which we know would be very difficult in a COVID world that we're currently living with. We provide sellers bank accounts in the major e-commerce market currencies. And as other markets grow and, also look to emerge, we also expand our currency offering. So we can service sellers that are needing to, make payments, but also receive payments. So although, we've got the currencies listed up on the screen here, you can receive in 11 different currencies. So we can open you up 11 different currency bank accounts, but you can pay out in 150 different currencies. So ultimately, the sky is your limit when it comes to making those global payments out. I do appreciate though, you might be sitting there and asking yourself, what is the benefit of having a bank account in the currency that you're trading in? Look, it is really simple. It is that you are streamlining your payments, and it's ultimately enabling you to save money. And we all love saving money. So if I just dive into that streamlining piece a little bit more, What I mean by streamlining your global payments is, let's say you had a Shopify site that was servicing USA customers. So you're processing USD via a payment gateway on your website. Now, instead of remitting those funds back directly to your local currency bank account, where you're charged a really high FX rate to convert the currency, what we do is we provide merchants that USD bank account for them to receive their funds directly into. So there's no currency conversion required. Once they do have the funds in their USD bank account, they ultimately can use them as they see fit. So, for example, if you've got, let's say, suppliers based in China and they are invoicing you in USD, you can utilize those funds that are in USD in your Payoneer account to make payments in like-for-like currency. So, again, no FX conversion is made there. Payoneer has partnered with some of the world's largest and trusted banks globally, whether it be your Barclays Bank or your Bank of America or Citibank, which ultimately enables us to provide local Filipino businesses bank accounts. So although we do have a solution which is much cheaper and faster than your typical banking model, we still leverage the infrastructure and they are heavily part of our network. So outside of your supplier payments, there often are a large number of other expenses which can come with running a Shopify store. For example, advertising. I did touch on before how savvy e-commerce businesses in the Philippines are turning to social media to advertise their products, and turning those phone browsers into shoppers ultimately. Well, with that comes payments that needs to be made to the platforms that you are advertising on. So whether it be your Googles or your Facebooks of the world, you can use your Payoneer balance to make payments directly to these companies. So connected to some of your currency bank accounts, Payoneer can provide you a MasterCard. So this MasterCard can be a physical MasterCard or even can be a virtual MasterCard. Where you can provide these bank account details. And again, it's a whole lot cheaper than if you were to use a card which is loaded with your home currency money. So other payments, which you might need to make as a really successful Shopify merchant are payments to remote teams or the wonderful people that, or businesses that are part of your ecosystem that help your business tick over. So it is worth mentioning that, payments between Payoneer accounts are absolutely free and they're instantaneous. So if you have a supplier or a freelancer or a digital marketing agency or a logistics provider or basically any other member of your ecosystem that supports your business that has a Payoneer account, these payments won't cost you a cent and will arrive immediately, which is fantastic. If you do have a large team though, and you are needing to make, reoccurring payments to them, Payoneer absolutely has you covered. We rolled out a feature this year called batch payments off the back of merchants basically saying to us, you know what, like we are time poor. We want to be utilizing our time to invest in our business. And look, we absolutely get it. Time is money. So we rolled out the feature of batch payments, which ultimately means that it consolidates these payments into one place, makes it a whole lot easier to pay these bulk payments to many businesses all at once. Right, the next piece that I just want to cover off is billing your clients. On that same note, requesting a payment and invoice can be absolutely time consuming, which is why we have got a fantastic feature which enables you to bill your clients directly from your Payoneer account. So you can, set payment reminders, prep the invoices in advance, and, send out payment requests. Again, saving you time, which is really important for you to be injecting that into your business growth or as you see fit. Absolutely. Look, if you want to withdraw your funds to your local account, you can. If you've got USD sitting in your Payoneer account, we'll look after the FX conversion for you. Payoneer conducts this FX conversion by using the mid-market rate of the day. The first thing to remember when you are thinking around that currency conversion piece is that it's the process of selling one currency to ultimately buy another. So the mid-market rate, which you might have heard the industry being referred to as interbank rate or the middleman rate, is the midpoint between the buy and the sell price of any two currencies at any time. As the buy and sell rates are, based on that constant demand and supply, it does constantly vary, but this rate can be obtained from your likes of your Googles or your Etsy's of the world. The fantastic thing about Payoneer is that we are really transparent with our customers prior to the FX trade taking place. So we clearly showcase to you what mid-market rate that we're using. And again, you can cross-check this with Google. And then the fee that we are going to charge you for making this conversion. The great news is that our fee is flat. It doesn't fluctuate with the demand of certain currencies. And it's also significantly cheaper than banks as well. But look, like I mentioned, banks are heavily part of our global infrastructure, and they're also really part of our partnership network. So it's definitely worth pulling out our fantastic partnership with Gcash, the really loved mobile wallet and branchless bank in the Philippines. So we're fully integrated with Gcash, which means that verified Gcash users direct with their Payoneer account can withdraw their balances. So due to this integration, the withdrawal happens immediately in this instance, so you can use these funds in your home currency straight away. We also completely understand, again, that reconciling is a really important part of your business, which is why we've got integrations with QuickBooks, and we've got a integration being rolled out with Xero really shortly, which I'm sure will provide a really large number of Shopify businesses a really easy way to reconcile their transactions that are done through Payoneer with their accounts. So look, to ultimately summarize, Payoneer and how we fit into that wonderful ecosystem that I spoke around before. Look, we are your go-to partner for your cross-border trade. We've got a really robust payments infrastructure, which means that you can act like a local in the market that you are trading in. This enables you to obviously streamline your payments and save. Ultimately, you can free up capital with these funds that you are saving and utilize that to inject into your business growth, especially leading up to the good old festive season, which is, right and truly upon us at the moment. Now, in addition to obviously being, that partner that you turn to for your cross-border payments, we are also on hand to assist with unlocking, doors and new opportunities. Look, I get it. Expanding cross-border, it can be daunting, and there are multiple things that you do have to consider. However, the fantastic news is that Payoneer has got an incredible global infrastructure that we've created with the offices all around the world, and that really large partnership network that we do have, so we can help businesses overcome their cross-border obstacles, whether it be the need for logistics introductions through to tax, entity, marketing, etc. That's exactly what we're on hand, to provide you assistance with. So this is just a wee snapshot of some of the fantastic partners that we do have in Southeast Asia that you can leverage for your global growth journey. So look, before I present our Payoneer offer to you as a Meetup attendee, I do just want to leave you with this case study video, which is done on one of our wonderful Filipino merchants, Marvin. So he's got 2 e-commerce stores and uses Payoneer in more ways than one. So Narissa and Efren, can I just leave you to hit play on this video?
I'm Marvin Espina from the Philippines. I'm currently running 2 online stores. Akong main customers is from the US, Canada, UK, and Australia. The store was established after having success with a platform called Teespring. The idea was to sell more than just apparels to my current customers. So nag-start ko build of stores nga maka-offer of more than just apparels. Dili lang t-shirts, like watches and sunglasses. I'm positive na nasa right track ako sa vision ko para sa store. Kasi Kasi sa ngayon, ginugrow ko na yung Instagram page at Facebook page ko na dedicated lang sa niche na yon. Ang ginagawa ko, ini-engage ko pa sila lalo. Hindi lang puro benta. Bibigay na din ako ng content value sa kanila. I was a virtual assistant for a top seller in a different print-on-demand company. So, dito ko na nakahibaw sa unsaon ang business model ng e-commerce. Dito ko na nakagamit sa Payoneer. Dakong tabang ng ang US bank account sa Payoneer kay may akong gilink sa akong Stripe account. Kay kung wala pa na, need pa na ako mo atog US or hire an agent para mo-open ng US bank account para sa kuha, which is hassle na kayo, dako na kayo, taas na kayong proseso. Unlike sa pag sign up lang ako sa Payoneer, free na siya. Usa pang nakatabang sa ako ang business gawas sa global payment service ni Payoneer o ang US virtual account sa Payoneer prepaid Mastercard. Kadto sa akong gamiton pambayad sa ako ang Facebook ads. So na-try na nako tanang payment option nga gihatag sa supplier nako, ang bank transfer, ang money remittance. Hassle kay siya sa akong business kay mo linya pa ko taas uban niya. Wala sad ko security. Dili siya e-commerce friendly. Pagkahibaw na nako sa Payoneer nga make a payment nga service nila, nawala na to tanan nga process na makakuha sa akong time sa pag-focus sa business. Pila lang ka clicks, mabayaran na nako ang akong supplier. Inigdawat na nila sa akong payment, dako sad ang conversion rate sa USD to their local currency. So win-win para sa inyo. Thankful kay kung nakagamit ko sa service ni Payoneer. Kay sa karon sa pagbayad sa akong supplier, dali na lang kaayo, wala na hassle. Pag receive sa nako funds gikan sa US, dali ra sad kaayo. So maka-focus pa ko sa pag-scale pa sa akong business.
You are back on, Miss Bonnie. Thanks, Narissa. I'm just trying to share my screen again. Let's do a take two. Woohoo! Third time lucky. Fantastic. Well, look, like I promised, we do have a special offer for attendees of today's meetup. Look, the special offer is that if you are new to Payoneer and you sign up via the link, which I understand Narissa and Efron and some of our Payoneer team are going to be posting a unique sign up link in the chat box throughout the presentation. You're going to receive $50 USD into your Payoneer account once you receive your first $1,000 or USD equivalent if you sign up via that unique link. Look, again, this is for a meetup attendee, so look, be sure to jump onto it today, grab hold of that link, and sign up to get that $50 USD credit. Now, in terms of keeping in touch with us, Payoneer has got a fantastic social media following in the Philippines. So jump onto LinkedIn, Twitter, check out our blog or our Facebook or YouTube pages. Or if you want to get in touch with us directly, look, here is the email address. Feel free to take a quick photo of that on your phone and reach out to us when you're back at the desk on Monday. But look, that's all from me. A big thank you to Filter and the team for having Payoneer on board. It's fantastic to be part of the Philippine Shopify Meetup, the largest one in the world, which is awesome. All the best for the busy e-commerce season as we wrap up for the end of 2021.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. And that was really insightful. And there are definitely a lot of opportunities for the online sellers with the partnership options at Payoneer. So guys, don't forget to take note of their socials so you can chat with them. And Bonnie, are you ready for the questions that are sent with us, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely. Fire away. What have we got?
Okay, well, we have here anonymous sender. So the first question. So as you have mentioned, expanding cross-border can be a daunting task for businesses. So what are your three key considerations for Shopify sellers to think about when expanding their business into another market?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And again, I think, similar to the question that was asked to Flo from Google, there's so much to consider, but I think my top ones, if you were to narrow it down, is obviously initially you need to identify the market that is going to be right for your products and also your brand. Not every market is going to be perfect. It might be a bit of a trial and error, but I think ensuring that you do some market research, whether it be looking at your competitors in the market, whether there are any supply gaps that you can fill, and just really get a good understanding. And then look, once you have picked that market, thinking around the localization of your product or the brand for the market. For example, electrical products. They've got different power sockets for different markets. So ensure that you get this right before you ship your goods into a new market. And, on that shipping piece, obviously logistics is key. So it's definitely worth, sitting down and thinking around, is it more cost effective and faster for you to ship your goods directly from the Philippines, or should you be looking at a 3PL in market? The wonderful thing around that Payoneer network piece, actually, that I spoke around is the fact that, we do have some great contacts in the industry that are third-party logistic partners. So we're more than happy to provide, any introductions to them, whether it be in the US, Southeast Asia, here locally in Australia or UK or Europe, etc. So look, those probably would be my initial ones off the top of my head, but you're more than welcome to get in touch with Payoneer in terms of that email address, which was salesau@payoneer.com, to just have a quick chat to the team and, discuss what other things come up for you that are unique to your business.
Okay, that is really great and helpful. And for our last question, as an e-commerce expert, what is something you're excited to see evolve in the industry in the future?
Oh, I like this question. Look, I don't think it's any secret that I love technology. So I think what I'm going to go down and say is AI or AR. Seeing AI, come to life in e-commerce over the last couple of years has been awesome, especially in, the fashion industry or home and living categories. I think the fact that you can be sitting on your couch at home and ultimately you can try on sunglasses via AR is really cool. Or, you could be shopping for a new couch and you can check out what that couch looks like in your living room. So I definitely think that this is something that I'm really excited to see, in the future and ultimately how that unfolds from a technology growth perspective. And even, how e-commerce sellers look to integrate it into their online stores and how they use it to provide really good customer experience, as well as obviously, driving those sales, which is what we're wanting.
That's really true, and we're very excited to see that come to life in the near future. So you may stay in the chat and answer any questions from our audience. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, thank you.
Awesome work, Bonnie. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Are we having a good time? Let me know in the chat if you are. So we're about to launch and introduce you to our fourth speaker. But before that, I know that we're up to emoji number 3 in our filter emoji competition. We're gonna launch it in a moment. Jot it down. Make sure that you get them in the correct order, because we're gonna ask you to write the 5 emojis in the comments section for you to win. 20 people are gonna win Grab food vouchers at 300 pesos each. So we're gonna play video 3 now. That was very, very quick. Let's replay that let's have a look. Fantastic. So let's bring out the amazing Jasper. Jasper, the APEC Partnerships Manager for Gorgeous.
How you going?
Very well. I'm going to leave it to you and turn myself off, but we're very excited about seeing you, Jasper.
Fantastic. I'm excited to be here. Let me see if I can share my screen with everyone. Awesome. So I think that's up now. Shopify MeetUp Philippines. This is not my first one that I've attended, and I'm really excited to see the chat is always going off. It looks like today's no different. I've never spoken at one of these events before, so I'm really excited today to be presenting. I really hope you get some value out of today's session. Thank you to the team in Filter and everyone else that's been involved for giving me the opportunity, but also at organizing this. Obviously, there's been a lot of promotion everywhere I've been looking, so I'm sure this is going to be a great event. Really excited. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to prepare your customer service team for the holiday season. I know Christmas is a massive holiday in the Philippines. We've got Black Friday, Cyber Monday coming up. So how to prepare your customer service team with that holiday season in mind. To quickly introduce myself, I'm Jasper Coolin. I'm the Strategic Partner Manager in APAC at Gorgeous. I'm based out of Sydney, where we have one of our offices, and the Sydney office looks after the entire region in Asia Pacific. So we have clients and partners in Australia and New Zealand, but also in the Philippines, in Singapore, in Malaysia. We take care of the whole region. And the reason we have a local office here is because we really truly believe that in order to provide great customer service, which is what we are all about, we have to be able to serve our clients and our partners quickly, right? So we want to be in the same time zone as everyone. For those that are not familiar with Gorgeous, we are the #1 help desk for e-commerce. We work exclusively with Shopify, BigCommerce, and Magento merchants. And what we do is we streamline customer service for e-commerce brands. So we bring in all different communication channels into one single pane of glass, into one single dashboard. So that means your email, your live chat, your phone calls, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are very soon about to release WhatsApp. All those communication channels come into one single pane of glass, so that when you work in customer service or you're a business owner, all your customer communications happen in one single dashboard, right? You don't have to jump between different tabs to find your customer engagements. We work with over 7,500 e-commerce brands around the world, and we're used daily by over 25,000 support agents. Last time I checked, I think we handled more than 3 million customer service tickets every single week. So it's safe to say that we're picking up some steam, right? We're quickly becoming the #1 help desk in the e-commerce industry. And we work with massive brands like Netflix and Steve Madden, all the way through to some smaller brands that are just getting started in e-commerce. Your little one-man stores that are selling Pokemon cards out of their garage, for example. We work with everyone. As long as you're an e-commerce store, we would love to work with you. And before I dive into how to prepare for the holiday season, I think it's important to start with the current situation. Why is customer service important, right? And the essence is that today buyers are frustrated and buyers are impatient. That is simply the reality of online shopping. That's the reality of e-commerce, right? And that tends to come down to the 4 things that you see on the screen here today. So let's go through those. The first one is first contact time, or we refer to that as first response time, right? That tends to be slow. What that means is you send an email to a brand saying, hey, I'm still waiting on my order to be delivered, or when can I expect my delivery? And you don't get a response for 12 plus hours. In that time frame, you may have already received your package, right? That's extremely frustrating. It doesn't really do anyone any favors. The second is a high resolution time that a lot of brands have. And that means you're speaking to a brand, you might get an automated email, or you might get an automated response from a chatbot, but your issue isn't being resolved. No one is actually solving your problem. There's no human talking to you that's actually answering your question. It takes a long time to have your inquiry fixed, which kind of leads into the third point, which is that a lot of people feel like they're not being treated like a real human, right? Again, that example of an automated email or a chatbot, people feel like they're just being treated like a number. They don't feel like anyone's really listening to their inquiry. And that leads to a lack of personalization, which ties in with the final point. No one's listening. right? You're repeating the same question with maybe multiple different people on the phone. Maybe you're sending multiple emails. Sometimes people send an email and then they reach out to a brand on Facebook or on Instagram and they have to repeat themselves over and over again. These 4 points, these are frustrations that buyers have. And I'm sure that everyone that's listening today has experienced one of these ones at some point. And I'm sure that everyone can agree that this is frustrating, right? And you'd be surprised that what we see, this is not just for little brands that are trying to figure out how to sell products online. This happens with big brands. This happens with global enterprise companies. This is a problem that we see across the globe, across the spectrum of e-commerce. Now, why? Other than the fact that this is frustrating for a buyer, why is this important to discuss? At the end of the day, merchants are paying the price, right? If you have a slow response time as a brand, this means you have a higher service cost. You're spending more time talking to people that want to have an issue fixed, which means you can't do other things. You can't do revenue generating actions or opportunities. You can't spend time on marketing, for example. Lack of personalization leads to lost sales opportunities. We know that people are more likely to purchase things online when they feel like they're being approached as a real human. I'll dive into this a little bit later on. And finally, siloed data, having your information all over the place, this lowers your efficiency. This again means you're spending more time on customer service when you shouldn't, when you don't need to, and this lowers your CSAT. Your customers ultimately know that you're not providing good service. They'll go to a competitor, right? So merchants are ultimately paying the price. So let's dive into some specific metrics then, right? Customer engagement is a critical layer of your e-commerce growth stack. If you want to grow your brand, if you want to grow your online reputation, you need to focus on customer engagement. 73% of online shoppers believe that CX is an important factor in your customer purchasing decisions. People feel like the way they're treated online, that influences their decisions, right? 90% rate an immediate response as important or very important. That means on live chat, you get a response within less than 45 seconds. That means an email is responded to in less than 30 minutes. An immediate response, bring that resolution, bring that first response time down as low as possible, right? I think the final point there, that 43% of consumers would pay more for greater convenience, is very interesting, because this is essentially saying your consumers are saying, hey, we are willing to spend more money for you to make my life easier, right? Online shopping, e-commerce, it's all about the ease of purchasing a product from your own living room. People are willing to spend that money. So these are some very interesting facts, right? And we'll touch on these later again. Most importantly, 79% of online shoppers would take their business to a competitor for experiencing poor customer service. That's 79%. So that's 4 out of 5 people, right? What I find interesting about this slide is that brands spend so much energy and so much time and so many resources on making sure that people buy from them for the first time, right? In the first place, people spent money on advertising, on social media ads, but also on, building a quality product. We spent money on making sure that people land on your Facebook or your Instagram page. You spend all this money. It would be such a shame to lose those customers that you've worked so hard to gain by providing a poor customer experience, because people will go to a competitor. The e-commerce ecosystem right now is more competitive than ever before, and there are probably 3 or 4 other businesses out there that provide a similar service to you or that sell a similar product. So people don't hesitate to go to one of your competitors. So here at Gorgeous, the reason we do what we do, we believe that customer service isn't an afterthought. This isn't something that is just a nice to have. This is foundational to the growth of your business. This is foundational to becoming a successful e-commerce brand. Customer service is that foundational pillar. So now that we got that out of the way, let's focus a bit more specifically on the holiday season. How can we prepare our customer service team with the holiday season in mind? First of all, it's no secret, you're going to have more engagements. You're going to have more tickets increase when it comes to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Christmas. There's more people on your website. There's more people purchasing your products. This means people will have more issues and more questions. People will be wondering where their orders are. People have questions about products, pre-sale, post-sale. On average, we see that ticket volume can increase by 50%. So knowing that, get ready for that and start for the peak. Not everyone, however, has the resources or the manpower to simply double their customer service team, right? So we put together a 3-step process here at Gorgeous, which I'm going to go through today. And I think these are probably the 3 key takeaways from this presentation. And we'll dive into these into a bit more detail, but the first one is to understand your customers. The second is to have an omni-channel approach. And the third is to find the balance between automation and personalization, okay? So let's dive into those into a bit more detail. Number 1, understand what your customers are asking. We know that 33% of all customer engagements are related to order status. So that's things like, where's my order? Where do you ship to? Can I have an update on my order status, right? It all comes down to the same thing. 33% of all your inquiries tend to be related to order status. During the holiday season, this number may even go up, right? We know that shipping delays are not uncommon during busy periods. So we got to understand that this is a number 1 inquiry. What do we do with this information? First of all, if you know that 33% of your total inquiries are about order status, let's think about how we can automate that, right? Let's think about how we can save some time. I'll dive into that in a minute. But why is it important to understand what your customers are asking? Customer service is the gateway to what your customers are thinking, right? When your customer reaches out to you online, they generally have an issue. Rather than saying, hey, hang on, this is a bad thing, let's use that customer engagement to improve your business, right? This is your customer directly giving you feedback about the product or the service that they're experiencing online. So we can use this data to build new products. If you're getting a lot of questions that say, hey, you've got a poorly built product, or my product keeps breaking, that's something that you can take on board and say, okay, maybe we need to increase the quality of our product. Maybe your customers are giving you direct insight in what they want to see, right? Maybe your customers see what your competitors are selling and saying it would be great if you could launch a similar product, right? Use that information. Capitalize on negative feedback before you lose customers. And negative feedback isn't necessarily a bad thing. Every business receives negative feedback at some point in their life cycle. But rather than, sort of ignoring those comments and thinking, whatever, we've just lost a customer, which is obviously a bad mentality to have, let's say, how can we use this negative feedback and really re-engage these customers before we lose them? Just because someone gives you negative engagement, that doesn't mean you've lost this customer, right? If someone says, hey, again, coming back to the same examples before, I've got a really poorly built product, or the quality of the product that I received isn't bad, use that opportunity to upsell and say, look, I'm really sorry with the experience that you're having with our product, but here's a 20% discount code for your next purchase, right? So we can capitalize on those negative engagements, which ultimately ties into the final point. Understand in your processes where you can do better, right? If, again, your inquiries are about order status, let's have a look at your shipping, the way you use your shipping or your logistics. Is there any areas in which we can improve on those fronts, right? So first value point today is understand what your customers are asking. This is going to be different for every business. Step number 2 is to be an omni-channel brand and to be everywhere. I know omni-channel is a bit of a keyword that's thrown around a lot these days in our ecosystem, but what we refer to when it comes to omni-channel is to be on all these different platforms like Facebook, Instagram, live chat, phone calls. Give your customer the opportunity to reach out to you on as many different platforms as possible. And the reason we suggest this is because we're trying to stay away from customer experience being a transactional engagement between a consumer and a customer service representative, where you make a phone call and that's it. You hang up the phone, you never speak again. Instead, we want to build a conversational engagement with a customer, where on Tuesday, your customer may call you on the phone and give you some feedback about a product. On Wednesday, that same customer might send you an email. And on Thursday, that customer might leave you a Facebook comment or send you an Instagram DM, right? That's the same customer. So we don't want to have to reintroduce ourselves every time. We don't want to have to listen to the issue that the customer might be experiencing. Instead, we want to build a conversational journey with this customer, where we know this is the same customer. We can engage with them not just when they need help, but as soon as they reach out to the brand, we know who they are, what their previous engagements were across all these different channels, right? It's that conversational engagement. And so as you can see here on the screen, in this screenshot, that means Facebook, email, live chat, Messenger, everything comes together into one dashboard, which means you have that full conversational history right from the very beginning of your customer, which is very interesting because you can actually see how your customers have matured with you and how many purchases they've made over time. And another thing is that in customer service these days, someone may pick up a ticket, but they've never spoken to that person before, but they can see, hang on, my colleague spoke to this person last week on Facebook, or my colleague had a phone call with this person last month. So you can pick up that conversation as if you've spoken to this customer before, right? You turn your customer service engagements into conversations. Step number 3, this is my personal favorite and probably also the most important. We get asked questions about this all the time, is personifying automation. Personalization is extremely important, right? We know this because, as I mentioned at the start, people want to feel like they're getting a personalized response. But at the same time, automation is something that you cannot ignore because you have to have a low response time and a low resolution time, right? So you want to use both, but you don't want to overdo either. If you're personifying too much, there's a good chance you cannot service all of your customers. And if you're automating everything, people feel like they're not being listened to. So the key here is to find the balance between personification and automation. And so what we do to personalize the customer engagement is, again, we obviously bring in all of those different communication channels from Facebook and live chat and phone calls. But what we also do is we bring in, VIP status of a customer. How many purchases has this customer made? Have they spent more than $1,000 US, for example? But also loyalty status through platforms like Yopo, where we can see reviews and loyalty points, maybe through Akendo, which has a direct integration with Gorgias. I can see that complete customer timeline where an amazing email marketing platform like Klaviyo, customer has received an email campaign and hey, they've replied to that email. I can see that. All of that information is directly available at your fingertips so that you can provide the personalized response as soon as that customer reaches out. There's no need to ask the customer, hey, what's your name? How many loyalty points do you have? And what email are you replying to? Which reviews have you left? We have all of that information directly at our fingertips. And now the reason that I guess we are here today as Gorgias speaking at a Shopify event is that we can pull through every single Shopify data point from a consumer on top of all the other information that we can already see. So which products has this customer purchased? How much money have they spent before? Again, are they a VIP status? Which Shopify tags are associated to this customer when they reach out to you? So the idea is that as a customer service rep, you have every single bit of information on this customer at your fingertips, and you don't have to check Klaviyo. You don't have to check Shopify in a different window. All of that information is right there for you. So you provide that personalized response, right? And imagine you're reaching out to a brand as a consumer and you're reaching out and, I'm reaching out to a brand and they say, hey, Jasper, I can see you've purchased this product last week. Sorry about the issue. We'll give you 20% off. You feel like you've got that personalized approach, right? And the statistics don't lie. We know that 80% of shoppers are more likely to buy your product when given a personalized experience. So again, personalization, super important. But as I mentioned, how can we use that personalization in balance with automation to save ourselves some time, to save ourselves some resources? What we do here at Gorgias, we can automatically detect the sentiment of a buyer or a ticket when a customer comes through. So when a ticket reaches out to when a customer reaches out to a brand, we can say, okay, hang on, this is a negative comment. This is a social inquiry. Maybe this is a VIP customer, or maybe this customer has an inquiry about shipping status. Without having to even look at that ticket myself, the Gorgias platform can tell me the sentiment of the ticket. And we can pick this up in 54 different languages. So for global brands, this is super, super powerful in saving themselves some time and really classifying which tickets require urgent attention, which tickets need to be replied to first, versus some of the tickets that maybe can wait, a little bit longer, for example. So automatically classifying those tickets as they come through. The second is to incorporate dynamic macros. So I know that a lot of people here, a lot of brands already use templates for your common inquiries, which is fantastic, right? Templates are a great way to speed up your first response time. But what we do here at Gorgias is we can incorporate dynamic fields that we pull directly from Shopify into those responses. So to give you an example that you can see here on the screen, when a customer reaches out, we have those fields in green that are pulled directly from Shopify. And so when a customer says, hey, where's my order? We pull the data from Shopify and we say, hey, Jasper, your order is here. It'll be delivered with you next week in one click, right? So you're not spending time copy and pasting these macros. All the data you need right here, incorporated in the macro directly. Finally, we want to focus on our VIPs to drive revenue, right? But your VIPs are your most loyal customers, the one that keep coming back, and they ultimately drive your growth, right? These are the people that you can maybe give a discount because you know that they'll come back. Personally, I don't necessarily believe in discounting just for the sake of discounting, because I don't think that contributes to long-term growth of your business. But VIPs are people that you can afford to give them a discount and say, hey, I know you've spent more than $1,000 US with us in the past, for example. Here is a discount code because you're one of our most loyal customers. And we can identify those people, make sure we focus on those, and use those as a revenue generating upselling opportunity. So we're automating that process directly. And when we combine these things, we see that this has a direct impact on your revenue. This is a direct impact on your bottom line. Customer service isn't something that you have to implement, tweak, adjust, and edit in order to see a result. If you can nail your first response time, personalized response, and bring your resolution time down, as you can see here on the screen, this is a change you'll see from day one. And often when we speak to brands, we guide them, we educate them on this, and we see that within the first 3 to 6 months, you're doing, as you can see here, your pre-sale tickets have increased by 169%. Conversion on tickets has increased by 187%. And these are real examples from real purchase customers, that this is something, when you implement this, you're going to see an instant impact on your bottom line. And so ultimately, what we try to do with our brands is we want to say, look, traditionally customer service is an expense, right? You're spending money on your staff to answer phone calls and to reply to emails, which is traditionally how it used to be. A lot of people don't know any better. But what we are saying is we're going to do two things. We're going to, one, save money on that cost. You're never going to replace your customer service team entirely, but we can save money on that. And we can do that through automation, right? As I discussed today, we see on average, brands can automate 30% of their total ticket volume, which may not sound like a lot, but if you're doing 1,000 or maybe 2,000 tickets a week, that's quite a significant number, right? You might be able to save yourself 1 or 2 salaries or use those resources for something else. We want to deflect phone calls to things like live chat. We provide a live chat feature that comes for free out of the box with Gorgeous. What we see is that on average, a phone call costs about $8 per conversation, and a live chat is less than $2. So little things where we can say we can save money. We bring all our channels aggregated into one dashboard so that you're not spending a lot of time switching between Facebook and email and Shopify, everything into one dash. That's one thing. We're saving money, right? We're saving time, we're saving money. At the same time, we want to turn our customer service center into a way to unlock revenue. So we want to drive conversations with a proactive live chat that pops up and says, hey, I see you're looking at this particular product. Here is a 20% discount code because I know you're a VIP customer, right? We can do those kind of things. As I mentioned, turn your social browsers into buyers by identifying the message intent that they have. What are they here for? Are they here to complain? Are they here to buy a product? Do they have a question about your service? Capitalize on that intent to generate more revenue. And finally, again, we know that personalized engagement results in more revenue, that the statistics don't lie. So we want to unlock more revenue. And ultimately, we're saving money, we're unlocking more revenue. We see that this directly affects the bottom line 9 out of 10 times within the first 3 months when brands make the switch to Gorgeous. I've done a lot of talking. I think I went through that pretty quickly, but we are offering up a special holiday offer for everyone here today. So if you are interested in speaking to us in a little bit more detail about how we can help you streamline your customer service, how we can help you prepare for the holiday season, it's not too late yet. A lot of brands are speaking to us right now. This is probably the perfect time to review your customer service strategy. We still have time to help you get sorted before Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Go to our homepage, book a demo with one of our account executives, or download a free trial. It's free for 7 days. Simply mention the Shopify Meetup today, and we will give you your second month free when you sign up. Any questions, pop them in the chat or reach out to me via LinkedIn, and I'm more than happy to connect.
Fantastic. Always awesome to hear you speak, Jasper, and learn what Gorgeous is doing and how you're helping us all. A few questions for you, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me grab the questions first. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Here we go. How does Gorgeous make automation a more personalized experience?
Yeah, that's a great question. And as I touched up on just then, it's the key, I guess, to customer service, right? You want to provide a personalized response and at the same time automate. So always make sure you provide as much personalization as possible, but not necessarily to the point where you're losing productivity, where you're starting to lose money. So again, things like dynamic macros that can provide a personalized response to the consumer that feel like they're personalized, but in fact, it's just one click for the customer service team, are a great way to provide both personalization and automation.
Fantastic. And where do you think we draw the line between human touch and an automated system? Can human touch be completely removed from the process?
Yeah, that's a question that we receive quite frequently too. And often when we speak to brands, I used to be in sales myself. I used to directly speak to brands and I used to speak to the customer service team, and they would kind of go, okay, does this mean I'm going to lose my job because, you're automating this process? And at the end of the day, no. I really, really, truly believe that customer service is something that will always require a personal touch. Right now, through our machine learning, as I mentioned, we're automating approximately 30% of total inquiries, which is great. But there are always engagements that require a human touch, particularly across certain industries where you might have a lot of connections before making a purchase. People tend to want to speak, whether it's over the phone or via live chat, to a real person before making a purchase. And similarly, on the post-sale side, if you have issues with a product, real serious issues, or you really want to speak to someone, there should always be the option to have that. And by no means, brands definitely should look to automate, but there should always be the option to have a personalized engagement too.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jasper. Jasper will stay on. You might see him in the chat, ask him anything. He's always available. But sign up to Gorgeous today. Take access.
Thank you.
Take advantage.
Thanks for having me today.
You are welcome. So lovely to have you from Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much.
All good. Speak soon. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Do you hate your job or have been stood down because of the pandemic? Make sure to reach out again to careers@filtaglobal.com. Again, make sure to reach out to careers@filtaglobal.com. And we have here our Dynamo recruitment team today to answer any of your questions. So say hi in the chat. Iris, Erica, Ali, Chanel, Hazel, Pat, and Mary. Say hi. Okay, before we introduce our next speaker, in Filta emoji competition, we will now launch emoji number 4. So I have been seeing you guys all throughout the entire talks today that you've been commenting the emojis. So we are just in our 4th emoji. Make sure that they're in the correct order. So now we will be write it later, the 5 emojis in the correct order, and 20 winners will receive Grab Food vouchers worth 300 pesos each from Filta. So we're now playing emoji number 4. Okay, so don't forget the correct orders of the emojis. So we're very excited to introduce our next speaker. He is the country lead, Global Business Solutions for Facebook. Let's welcome to the stage, Will Tan. Hello, Will.
Hi, thanks for having me here. Excited to be here.
You're welcome, Will. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll let you take the center stage, and we're very excited to hear from Facebook.
Definitely. So let me just share my screen. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is safe, healthy, probably hydrated, because I know it's quite hot today, and is able now to see my screen. So I know you've been tuning in for quite a while now. Feel free to grab your coffee or even your merienda. But regardless, I'll keep you awake because this next topic is insight-rich and also action-driven. So just a quick intro. Again, I am Will Tan from Facebook, now Meta, and I am excited to be here with you today. This afternoon, I would also like to share some of the insights about our changing consumers, opportunities that we can already unbox, and of course, how we can drive these insights into action. So let's dive right in. So to look forward, we need to understand first the evolution of commerce throughout our history, right? So for hundreds of years, shopping and buying was a relationship between a person's need and also fulfilled by a seller's expertise. Now, a merchant or a seller, in a traditional sense, could offer personalized recommendations, a store experience to create moments of discovery, and even a simple exchange of payments and goods. And early e-commerce experiences tried to replicate the personalization, discovery, and even the seamless nature of the in-store shopping experience. Now, when e-commerce first emerged, it was perceived as experimental. And marketers and even people in general were slow to adapt in this new emerging channel. And we all know what happened ever since, right? It's been a slow and steady climb towards e-commerce. And then boom, what happened? There's a global pandemic. Everything moved online. School, healthcare, entertainment, and even e-commerce is no longer a convenience but a fundamental channel for people. Some of the key shifts in shopping behavior include buy online and then pick it up in store. A lot of the stores, retail stores, and even restaurants have become pickup centers, with click and collect becoming more usual now. More shopping on mobile. Consumers migrated their physical stores into mobile. There might be some of you multitasking even in your phones while listening to me. Virtual product visualization. Customers can use visual fitting rooms. I know that the other speakers have already mentioned about AR. This is some trend that we're seeing booming today. You can try on clothes, you can try on makeup, and even how furnitures would look like in your living room. You'll see online consultations where customers can now book their own virtual sessions with shopping consultants, and even live shopping events where e-commerce has gone very social, where the store and its salesmen can now be seen anywhere. While this shift is quite dramatic because of the pandemic, it is not unexpected. It's just very early. So it has fundamentally changed the way shopping happens. In the past, one would usually think of online shopping as a routine, right? Very functional task. Something you need, search for it, and then buy it. Things are very different now. Consumers are in always shopping mode. And what do I mean by this? They view online shopping as a delightful, curated experience that happens while going about on their activities. There are also different ways people would shop, and platforms have strengths depending on the shopping behavior. E-commerce made it possible for people to search for something and buy it instantly, and digital has shifted people's shopping behavior buying expectations. Now, to address this, social platforms where the experiences are centered around people are where businesses have built community, and they are now making shopping features a bigger part of the experience. On the flip side, e-commerce platforms, I know you know a lot of e-commerce platforms, right? Even your own e-commerce platforms in Shopify are now optimizing for its product and are trying to sell as efficiently as possible by integrating more social features like direct to messaging or even live shopping. So for businesses, it's possible to not only meet the expectations of today's shopper, but thrive while doing it. Business doing this today recognize that the consumer journey starts well before that intent. These businesses have been investing in a more modern kind of marketing, something that we at Facebook call discovery commerce. If e-commerce is about search and purchasing through a site, it means people are limited to finding the products they already know and they already wanting. Now, with discovery commerce, products find the people so that people can discover products that things that they are most likely to love. They don't even know, but they discovered it and they probably would want to buy it. So discovery commerce brings joy and delight to online shopping. Not everyone knows what they want if they haven't discovered it yet. Now, with discovery commerce, it enables businesses to go one step further than they can ever do with any kind of marketing. Not just meeting customers' needs, but actually anticipating it ahead of time. It's also no coincidence that each of these stories happen on our Facebook platforms. There are many paths for digital discovery today, but no experience comes close to the quality, efficiency, and scale of discovery powered through Facebook. And when I say Facebook, it's across different apps. When it comes to discovery commerce, it's both the Ford and the Tesla, the category inventor and also the innovator. Of weekly users of Facebook platform surveyed, as you can see in your screen, more than 74% of those who said that they discovered new brands or products online typically discover it on Facebook, compared to 55% on search, 43% on pure e-commerce, or even 41% via brand or retailer website. And these discoveries are not just for awareness. It actually leads to purchases. 86% ultimately purchased the fashion, beauty, furniture, or even consumer electronic product they discovered on our platforms. And we are already seeing significant organic shopping activity across all the Facebook apps today. For example, people were discovering products on Instagram. And that is why we built Instagram shopping. People wanted to buy products in live video. And that is the reason we built tools so that we can further ease up our consumers to do live shopping. People were also buying and selling in Instagram or even Messenger and WhatsApp. And we are building more automations in app. We build products based on how people use our platform. We make it easier for people to discover new brands, follow brands that they love, and even purchase from these businesses. Now, to give you an idea of how we will get there, here's a sneak peek of our full roadmap. So to this day, this is something that you already know. Our personalized ad model drives shopping and discovery from our apps to a business website or app. So that means that if you have a Shopify website, we'll be able to drive them to those sites through discovery. This is how hundreds of millions of businesses drive demand today. The second is, over the next few years, and some of which are happening already today, we will be doubling down on our shopping solutions to make it easier for people to be able to shop products they love in the moment of discovery. And in the far future, we will continue to reimagine online shopping, build for consumer behaviors we see across our platforms, and ultimately make online shopping feel more personalized, frictionless, and even more human. We are weaving shopping into the fabric of each of our apps to help gather inspiration, discovery, and buy the products they love. So for shoppers, each shopping experience will be slightly different, utilizing what is best about each app to improve the shopping experience. For instance, in the Facebook app, shoppers will be able to see the likes and even the shares from their friends and community to know what they like. On Instagram, on the other hand, shoppers can express themselves by getting the latest releases and even exclusive drops from the different brands that they follow and even interested in. The product is in its early stages, but as we build more features in time, each app will add unique value, making it worthwhile to consider how to build your brand and sell your products across all these platforms. So, the next question is how, right? So in this next section, I'll take you through our shopping solution. I'll be going through how you can reach more consumers, drive consideration and purchases, and lastly, how you can deepen customer relationships. So I'll start first discussing with the tools you can reach more customers. The first one is product tags. So product tags make it easy for people to shop in the moment of discovery. Brands can publish shoppable content across all of our personalized formats, may it be in feed, stories, live, video, and even in Reels. What's interesting is that 92% of users said that they have taken action right in the moment of seeing something on Instagram, like going to a website or purchasing it online. So I highly, highly recommend that you are able to maximize these product tags. Some tips when you do your product tags. The first one is manage your feed by posting roughly around 10 shoppable posts in a month. But make sure you avoid putting so much tags in one post. Maximize the post, but have at most 3 tags in a post so that you are ensuring that you're not able to clutter your post with so much shoppable tags. If you have live shopping events, you can also repurpose your content. And lastly, showcase your products in its typical environment. Where is it used and how is it used? We're also investing in more ways for people to easily shop the products they discover with our Shops Ads solution. Ads with product tags launched last year and is already seeing great results. In a recent study, ads with product tags drove more user interaction than single image ads without tags. Around almost double, actually, as many users interacted with the ad with product tags. And this is very easy to do. Once you add product tags in your posts, you are able to already boost it so you can potentially get more purchases. And some tips, again, if you are boosting posts with product tags. The first one is, same principle applies. Do not go beyond more than 3 product tags in one post or in one creative asset. If possible, include models on using or wearing the product you are selling. And lastly, show your call to action without cluttering your creatives with too much text. Again, if you remember, most of the people look at your product in their mobile phones. So if your creative asset is text heavy or too cluttered, they'll not be able to read it quite properly. Another thing we advise you to do is to already create your Facebook and Instagram shop. The shop tab is a personalized place for people to intentfully start their shopping journey in Instagram and Facebook. Now, the Facebook shop tab is a new independent shopping destination on Facebook for daily shopping inspiration through shops, content, and even community. Now, our vision here is for this to be a brand safe place to connect with your consumers so that they'll be able to give you user-generated content and even recommend you in different groups, probably buy in your live shopping events, and even personalize that discovery for them. All in a convenient, secure place to buy with confidence. Now, Instagram Shop, on the other hand, helps people discover and buy products they love in. You can get inspired by collections, browse different selections from your favorite brands and creators. So in time, we will be continually evolving these products and these shops, so you'll be able to maximize it together with your different websites or even your e-commerce platforms. And with that, this is fully integrated with Shopify websites. This means that your FB and IG shops, once you have opened it up, can lead to your Shopify website. And at the same time, if you can change or refresh your products in Shopify, that will automatically be updated in your FB and IG shops. This will give you more convenience in managing your e-commerce business. You no longer need to manually change or update your products or collections in each of the different platforms. Again, feel free to maximize this key feature and integration. Now, let's dive into the shopping solutions that can help you drive consideration and purchase. As I've mentioned, Facebook Shops is the biggest step we've taken yet to enable commerce across our Facebook apps. Shops make it easier for business to set up their digital storefront and sell things online. So what are the key features of shops that can drive to consideration and purchase? When brands enable shops, they get to access and also build merchandising features to curate and customize the experience for their customers. You can curate products for your customers by organizing groups of SKUs or your own products into collections. Maybe you do have seasonal events, promotions, upcoming launches, or what have you. You can also customize your brand. Brands can stand out from the crowd and express their brand voice through visual merchandising. Again, you'll be able to leverage on different accent colors or whatever brand colors or identity you may have. When creating your collections, our advice here is to make sure you highlight your best sellers or the ones with a strong oomph or wow factor. Update your collections depending on what's trendy or what's in. And lastly, if you have bundles, holiday gift sets, seasonal regimen items, consider highlighting those in your collections as well. So these are some of other use cases when you start thinking about what kind of collections that you'll be able to do in your merchandising in your Facebook and Instagram shop. You can group your limited time offers or even promoted items or limited stocks only. You can highlight seasonal pop-ups. You can even do brand collaboration or even have a VIP collection if you do have one. Brands are getting creative with shops, and this is allowing them to even express their brand voice and help consumers to find the products that are right for them. So again, as I've mentioned earlier on, very soon we're also bringing the magic of in-store shopping experience to mobile to help shoppers get a feel of and the fit of the product in their daily lives, right? So we're making it easier for brands to create AR to try on experiences inside the shops. While we're starting with beauty, where consumers can try makeup shades, and even apparel where people can try on the fit of, say, sunglasses in their faces, we're also exploring other industries like home decor. Lastly, we'll take you through the solutions we're building to help you deepen customer relationships. Now today, customers are browsing a shop on Instagram or Facebook and they will be able to message directly a business through WhatsApp, Messenger, or even Instagram Direct to even ask questions, get support, and even track deliveries and more. In the future, customers will be able to view a business shop and make even purchases right within WhatsApp, Messenger, or even Instagram Direct. Messaging through shops will combine the best parts of shopping in store with the convenience of shopping online. And today, businesses and people can share rich shop links and thread when discussing a particular product to make it easier to find more info. There are several high consideration products which are easier to sell through conversations, right? So there are products where consumers would want to ask about ingredients, available colors, or even haggle for bulk orders with even much deeper discounts. So all of which you'll still be able to drive them again to your Shopify websites in case that's the checkout or where the purchase would happen in your shopping journey. Now, if this is the case, conversing with customers is the way to go, right? You can even send out coupons or even discount codes just in case that they haven't bought yet. With all of these solutions in mind, the next question is, what are the things which you can already apply today? So first and foremost, as I've mentioned, you need to establish your digital storefront so that it can be discovered more broadly. I know most of you, or even those who are still thinking about building or creating a Shopify website, has already expanded its reach in your network or even your family and friends. If you're able to further expand that reach inside our Facebook apps through these shops, you'll be able to tap more audiences and even drive them to purchase. Now, once that is good to go, you can already put shoppable tags to your posts and lead them to your website or through conversations. If you want to reach more people yet again, and you are able to, and you want to scale your business and be bullish about expanding your business, then we would advise you to already run advertising to get as much purchase conversions. Utilize the retargeting options of Facebook so you can remarket to people who viewed or even added to cart, or even those people who have not purchased yet. Or if they have purchased, you can retarget them again to further upsell or even cross-sell other products to them. And lastly, test and learn. It's hard to check if your strategy is effective or if you're not able to measure it. And if you are measuring it, it is wasteful to measure if you're not able to learn and iterate based on what you are seeing or what data you are reading. So if you are not able to be agile in iterating your campaign and or even your strategies, then it's going to be a ways to even see the numbers if you're not able to make it as actionable as possible. And with that, if you do have any questions or if you want to learn more, feel free to drop by shops in facebook.com/business/shops to learn more about it. And again, if you are able to and if you want to learn and upskill yourself with Facebook advertising, there are free online courses for Facebook Blueprint. May it be on creatives, how to plan for your e-commerce business, even digital advertising, and even for the developers. I know a lot of you right here today are also developers and developing different tools, whether in your Shopify website or even putting in some plugins. If you want to learn more about it, visit facebook.com/business/learn. And with that, thank you very much for joining me in today's session. I know you have a lot of questions, and I'd really love to jump right in to answer those for you.
All right. Thank you, Will. That's really inspiring, and we'll definitely discover the new and upcoming features from Facebook applications, also including Facebook Blueprint. So thank you so much for sharing it with us. So, Will, for your questions from our anonymous senders, they are already included in the chat. So they have a lot of questions for you. So you may stay there and answer them, including the questions from our live audience. So thank you so much, Will.
Thank you so much.
Okay, everyone, before we introduce our next speaker, in the filter emoji competition, we will now launch the last and emoji number 5. So again, jot it down. I've been seeing people here already chatting. This is the 5th, so make sure you include all the 5 emojis in complete order. And 20 winners will receive Grab Food vouchers worth 300 pesos each from Filta. So now, launching the last emoji. All right. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Will. Thank you so much, Acha. Up next, the speakers keep coming. Amazing speakers. We've got Jason Anderson, the COO from Anzen. Come on, join us, Jason. And Rob Gibson from Klaviyo. Woo! Here we are.
Oh, hello. Hey, everybody. How you going?
We are having a fabulous time. We're going to leave it to you. Take it away.
Very good. Thank you so much.
I'm going to put my video off and let Rob take it from here.
Easy. Cool. Great to be here. Thank you very much for having me. Second introduction, if you will. So I'm Robert Gibson. I'm the Senior Partnerships Manager for Klaviyo. I'm based in Sydney, and I look after the APAC region. So if you haven't heard of Klaviyo, we're going to firstly explore what that is today. Then we're going to go through some tips as they relate to the upcoming peak trading period. So leveraging email and SMS on what we call owned marketing here at Klaviyo in this period. And I'm going to be doing a 50-50 split kind of presentation between myself and Jason. Jason represents Anzen, who is an elite tiered partner for Klaviyo in the APAC territory, and he'll be covering more specific examples and using Klaviyo in the Black Friday, Cyber Monday period as well. So great to be here. I hope you all take something away from today. I will answer your questions at the end in the chat box. So what is Klaviyo? Well, we're a Boston headquartered marketing automation business. We have over 1,000 employees globally. We have over 75,000 paying customers using our services, and that's across 125 different countries. So people typically use Klaviyo for email, for SMS, for segmentation, sign-up forms, and analytics. Now, our business and our mission is to empower every business to own their own destiny. And what that means, and we're going to get into this in more detail, but own to Klaviyo is about owning your marketing, owning the journey that you're able to give your clients and your ability to collect their information, and empowering you to be able to give personalized customer experiences at every step of the way. So we are a platform that helps businesses communicate directly with their audiences. And I'll explain exactly how we do that. Before we get there though, Klaviyo is a global business. We're working with brands all around the world. It doesn't matter if you're a startup. You could be thinking about, creating a Shopify store today after this call and maybe looking into marketing opportunities. Klaviyo can work with you. We also work with large businesses and mid-market businesses, so businesses of all shapes and sizes. So I do have some slides in here that cover exactly how you can use our product, but you can get started with a free account, and Jason is going to send you some information on how to create a free account afterwards as well. We are not just a product-based marketing business, so we do work very well within e-commerce, direct-to-consumer or B2C brands, but you don't exactly have to be selling a product online to work with Klaviyo for marketing automation. You're very welcome to use us if you're, in the services space as well. We've got Barry's and Barstool Sports and Eventbrite and other companies you might be familiar with that are using Klaviyo for marketing automation as well. So when you ask us about Klaviyo and what it is, we're going to come and talk to you a lot of the time about data, depending on where you are in the world. So we give you real-time, single access to customer data to use messaging and measurement. So at the absolute core of everything that you're going to want to be doing as a marketer is the data. And it's not just necessarily the data that you can plug in to Klaviyo via your e-commerce integration, although we have a lot of those as well, but it's also how you can layer on extra intelligence into the marketing funnel as well. So Klaviyo is proud to boast over 200 plus third-party integrations, and gone are the days where businesses could do something that use one piece of technology that was their storefront. This thing did their ratings and reviews. This thing did their loyalty. This thing did their emails. This technology did their SMS, and none of it spoke to each other. In this day and age, you want to get the most value from all of your different integrations that you're using in e-commerce, and Klaviyo can be the glue at the center of all of that, right? So a really practical example of this would be integrating Klaviyo. I know you've heard from Gorgeous earlier, integrating Klaviyo with Gorgeous, for example, for customer service, and maybe someone else for ratings and reviews. And then knowing that maybe someone has had a 2-star product review in the last week, or they're currently engaged with customer service and they're not having a great time. So maybe you want to remove them from an existing marketing flow or campaign and make sure that we're not reaching out to them to try and sell them something potentially when we risk them unsubscribing, which is ultimately what we want to avoid doing. So the more data you can pipe into Klaviyo through existing integrations that we have, the better. And if you are choosing Shopify as an e-commerce platform, Klaviyo has an incredibly robust integration there, and we integrate with a huge ecosystem of technologies that can plug into Shopify and plug into Klaviyo as well. So there's just an array of them in front of you right now, but remember there's 200 plus, and we're adding something like 25 a quarter as well. So 25 third-party integrations into this ecosystem around Shopify and other platforms that are piping data into Klaviyo. And that's to empower you as a marketer to make more informed decisions. So typically a business would come to Klaviyo and they would want to work with us across what you can see on the screen here. We can do things like back in stock or automation. So letting consumers know that an item they're waiting for is back in stock, or we've got price drop flows and things like that you can layer in there. We have product recommendations that you can personalize and add into Klaviyo, which on a one-to-one basis, that's a very powerful feature. Obviously, you want to make sure that what you're sending out is personalized to every individual. And another thing that I probably would call out is we do have predictions around lifetime value, churn risks, and more that can help you. So Klaviyo is not just a marketing platform, it's also an analytics platform for your e-commerce store. So you can make some very informed decisions and predictions when using Klaviyo. The backbone of everything, as we said before, that you're doing should be data. So it looks like a confusing slide, this one here, but I'll just pause quickly and explain it. These are the different avenues in which you can get information into Klaviyo as a marketing automation platform. We do connect with your e-commerce platforms out of the box. Think Shopify and others as well. Shopify is our preferred. We are a preferred partner in the marketing space for Shopify, and we have a huge ecosystem of third-party integrations there. So that's a focus for us. Privy, Typeform, Justuno, and others is where you can ingest, or Klaviyo can ingest data from forms, and then obviously lots of other third-party integrations, including CSVs as well. Now, Klaviyo then stores all of this customer data and information that you're giving us. We have a data science engine that can help you make sense of it as a marketer. You can then segment customers into buckets that you want to talk to. So VIPs here, at-risk people that maybe haven't purchased in a while and we want to talk to them a little bit more, maybe offer an incentive to bring them back. People who are in a specific geography, genders, anything you like, you could segment out to make them into individual segments for marketing purposes. And then the output of all of this information is what you see on the right, or the act as we call it at Klaviyo. And that is being able to sync your Facebook custom audiences, email, SMS, push notifications, and targeted forms. So I'm going to come into some specific details as it relates to a customer a bit later. But this is at a high level what we're doing here at Klaviyo and how the data gets in there. Now, before I go a little bit further, I wanted to call out, as I've said earlier, Klaviyo, the reason why merchants choose us is there is really no risk involved for them. We are a try before you buy platform. You can leave this call today and experiment. You are very welcome to create a free Klaviyo account and connect it to your e-commerce store, or not connect it to anything and just play around. If you intend to send, we give you up to 250 free contacts that you can market to. Obviously, there's going to be a compliance check with all new accounts that we create. Jason, thank you very much. He's just linked the link in there, and that's how you can click through that link and create a free account and play around. So if you're a retailer or a merchant on this call, I definitely implore you to plug it in, connect it to your Shopify, and leverage your actual data, your real data, and play around with it. There's no surprises and fees, and there's no restrictive contracts and things like that. So you can turn it off and on whenever you want if you do choose to go live and billing. And businesses typically prefer Klaviyo in the marketing automation space because we are able to collect and store all that data we've spoken about, and we'd have a library of templates and drag and drop editors and things like that that make your it's much easier for you to be able to execute e-commerce plays with a lot greater speed effectively. Now, coming back to my point earlier around owned marketing, we say the only way to build lasting relationships is by controlling customer experience and the marketing channels they're delivered in. So owned marketing for Klaviyo, if we're talking about the channels and the output, primarily we're talking about email and SMS, but of course we do have Facebook audience sync as well. So if anyone, asks you, do you think email is dead or where's it going? These are some sort of, post-COVID versus pre-COVID stats that I think are really important for everyone to digest today. So this is what email is doing, now across survey groups of Klaviyo clients. We see an 86% uptick in email revenue compared to pre-COVID times. We've seen a 22% increase in open rates, albeit that may turn into a vanity metric because we know that there's going to be some changes with obviously iOS 15 rolling out, and that's going to affect open rates. We've seen a 43% increase in email clicks as well, and a 60% increase in revenue per recipient. So some very compelling and healthy stats in the email world right now. SMS by the numbers, if you're curious what's going on in the SMS world, this is kind of the Robin to the Batman, if you will, Batman being email. There's 3.5 billion people on the face of this earth, us included, that are communicating by text message right now. There is an 8 times SMS marketing click-through rate over email in our initial findings, and 61% of marketers increased text messaging budgets in 2020-2021 periods. So if you're not, your competitors probably are, and businesses are investigating ways in which that they can communicate with their shoppers, their loyal shoppers in other ways. And SMS might be one way that you could add to your email. So the other stats there that I'll leave on screen are relatively self-explanatory, but I think it's important to call out the 3 of 4. 3 or 4 customers prefer to receive SMS versus retargeting or social ads. I think people are starting to think that maybe ads, are not exactly what the experience that they want anymore. They don't want that breadcrumb and trail all over the place. They would rather perhaps maybe receive something in an owned capacity. If you have an audience that says, I love your brand, I want to hear from you, and you can come and talk to me through these channels, or whether it's email or whether it's SMS, then you should nod to that and you should work with that. And Klaviyo gives you the ability to do that as well. So obviously we're getting to the point where we see it as better together. So we wouldn't bring out SMS across loads of different markets, and I'll tell you where they're available, unless we thought that it was going to augment and bring a better experience to our existing email offering as well. So on average, when you combine email and SMS into your marketing flows, and what we're talking about here really is specific journeys and marketing journeys that can send you down the route of an email or the route of an SMS. And we're going to show you some examples as well. That's 122 times average return on investment that we see email versus SMS. So, you put $1 in, you get 122 back, is effectively what we're saying in this regard. 12% increase in Klaviyo attributed value within the first 30 days, 20% increase in revenue per recipient by adding SMS to abandoned cart flow as well. So how an email and SMS able to complement each other? I think this is a question we get quite a bit as well. So SMS is best used for things like time-sensitive messages. So, you've got a discount that's running, it's only available for 12 hours, go, everyone jump on it. That's the best time for you to use something like SMS communications, maybe in a campaign format. It's great for succinct reminders and notifications. And also it's really good for cultivating relationships with your engaged VIPs. So your important bought-in loyal customers, for example. Now, email, as we know, is good for things like long-form content, image-heavy content. Probably the other major call out here is multiple call to actions. I think SMS is very good when you have one thing you're looking to achieve, like hey, look at this, it's back in stock, or buy this, or sale on now, or something like that. Whereas if you needed to have multiple call to actions or more content and material, you would put that in an email rather than a message. Now, you can incorporate both very successfully in things like your welcome series. So you could send someone hey, welcome to shop, welcome to my newsletter, thanks very much, via SMS, and then the follow-up could be email for the newsletter. Transactional messages, there's a lot of signals there that people like to know when orders have been dispatched or are on the way by SMS as opposed to email. Email, they're not going to open maybe as soon as they would an SMS, which we know there's around 90% opened in a very short amount of time. And then the others you can see on there, recovering abandoned carts with SMS is something that's also incredibly successful. So if someone has left something behind and you wanted to get that back in front of them, well then, of course, you can send them that via SMS. Whoop, skip the slide. So how does this work in practice? And this is where I think it's going to get a little bit more interesting if you're a merchant in there, or even at the budding stages of hoping to become someone to sell online. So the 4 stages of the direct-to-consumer life cycle, we're going to start in the green: acquisition, conversion, fulfillment, and retention. Now, Klaviyo plays a role in all of these. On the acquisition side of things, Klaviyo, as we mentioned earlier, has the ability to sync your VIP customer segments to your Facebook and Instagram. So effectively, what we're looking to do here is create lookalike audiences. Here is a bunch of people that are loyal to my business and my brand. They buy with me, and I want to get more of them. So I'm going to go out into the world with this lookalike creation. Thanks to Klaviyo, I'm going to find more people like that, and I'm going to work smarter with my ad spend and attract the right traffic and right people to my website. So find more of what you know is a good fit for your brand. This is a really good thing that Klaviyo can bring to the table when it comes to acquisition. Now, conversion, very important. I would say the most important stage. I know retentions, but okay, I can't say that. Conversion and retention on a pedestal at the same time, very important for me, and I focus very heavily on these ones. But conversion, obviously, don't go and get all that traffic. Don't go and spend all that money on ads and get a whole load of people to your site. Think the Black Friday, Cyber Monday period, you're going to see an increase in traffic and unique traffic that's coming to your site. So you're going to want to be able to capitalize on that and get their details so that you can then incorporate them into your own marketing journey. As we know, that's very important. So how are you thinking about your welcome series? What goals and intentions have you set out? And what are you testing? And what are you testing, for example? So Highlight here splits their welcome series based on the entry point of the user. Did they come in from Google? Did they come in from social? Did they come in from here? How should I be addressing them? I want them to have a very tailored experience, and that's going to affect their welcome journey as well. Something else that I think they do incredibly well in the conversion funnel stage is leveraging data and collecting data to build relationships. So if you're a first-time purchaser that hits their site, they're going to offer you $20 off the next order for participating in a survey, actually. And the purpose of this survey is to make them more personalized in exactly how they're going to market with you in the future. So with the survey data that you collect, you're going to get $20 off your next purchase, and you're also going to benefit from getting highly personalized communications from this business in the future. So they're going to be asking you things, and they sell shorts, obviously, the perfect short quiz. They want to know, what gender are you? Do you like your shorts above the knee or below the knee? Do you like liners? What colors do you like? What is your waist size? And things like that. As much information as you will get them, they will store as a custom attribute against your profile in Klaviyo. And then when they're running sales for black shorts that are above the knee and you're a waist size 30, it's going to be hyper personalized in their communications to you as well. But it also helps create a very accurate picture for a marketer to know exactly where they should be spending their own marketing dollars or energy and efforts as well. So fulfillment, this is an interesting thing. You might be thinking, where does Klaviyo, a marketing automation business, come into the fulfillment stage? Well, really, own marketing is all about creating great experiences. So we talk about triggering automated emails to send when customers receive their order. And you don't necessarily have to just send emails as well. You can send them an SMS, but on screen in front of you is an example flow within Klaviyo. This is when someone has received an order. Have they received it? Yes or no? If yes, then we're going to send them, how can we make your next box even better? Or whatever example content that you wanted to send them. If they have not received it, then we're going to potentially send something a little bit later once they have received it. We'll put them back in the funnel as well. So the experience goes beyond attracting them and converting them. You need to hit them in that fulfillment stage. And something else you could do in the stage would be collecting reviews, which I know Jason's going to be talking about as well. But you can also do things like provide further value through SMS updates once they've subscribed and they're getting this order confirmation. So, congrats on taking that lovely pair of boots home. Here's a cleaning kit that we know goes incredibly well. And you can send that via SMS in a few days with a time delay or something like that. And that was that example there. So lots of things you can do on the fulfillment stage still. I know I'm talking about SMS a bit. We've only just launched it in Australia. If you're selling into US, Canada, UK, it's available there as well. We are adding more, so get excited about that. But this is where we're dealing with it at the moment. So something to think about if you're trading internationally and looking into these markets as well. And on the retention side of things, you want to make high value customers feel special, with potentially date-based discounts. This is a suggestion I would offer all merchants. So why don't create a happy birthday flow? Or an anniversary flow or something like that to help them feel special and re-engaged. And there's also things you can do on the retention side as well with predictive analytics. Remember that Klaviyo has the ability to tell you when someone is their lifetime value is effectively shortening. They're at a churn stage. They haven't bought from you in a while. Why don't you reach back out? Why don't you check in? So we can create these automated marketing funnels like you see in front of you here, checking in. You want something new, you haven't purchased in a while, would you like a discount or something like, how about some free shipping? What's going to get you back? Or potentially content. We know you like these things and we haven't heard from you in a while. Here's an update on these particular items, for example, or something that our business is doing that we're very proud of. So it doesn't have to just be discounts as well. Now, before Black Friday, Cyber Monday period, there's a few things I would always advocate businesses get out there and do. This is just before I hand over to Jason. So multi-step forms, we offer them with Klaviyo. If someone's going to be filling information on via form, obviously we know to market to them. We need to capture their email, and on the SMS side, we need to capture their phone number as well. So add a two-step form or a multi-step form. Hit them up for both in the one movement. It's much better than potentially having them in two different forms where you have drop off, obviously, and you only capture one thing. And it also means that we're going to create a unified customer profile. So if we get their email and SMS at the same time, easier for Klaviyo to put them together. And then consented checkout is available on Shopify. We're one of the few SMS partners to roll this out pretty recently globally with them. There are others, obviously, as well. But you can capture details at the point of purchase and pipe that into Klaviyo. Now, very short, my top tips for Black Friday, Cyber Monday: add SMS, even if it is just passive. If you have the ability to do it, if it's with Klaviyo, amazing. If it's not, absolutely fine. Take these tips and use them. If you're selling into AU, Canada, US, UK, beyond, etc., add SMS to your own marketing with Klaviyo. If it's otherwise not available in your territory, there are other providers that are integrated with Klaviyo and they can work with your existing emails as well. So this will help you cut through Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And it does allow you another channel to follow up after Black Friday, Cyber Monday, because we know in the direct-to-consumer funnel, retention is a huge portion of this, right? We don't just attract them, convert them, and then send them on their way. We want them to come back. So my next tip here really is around segmenting orders during Q4 and having a look at who might be new to you, who's just discovered your brand. How can we treat them differently? Were they just motivated by discounts, or can we buy them into our brand story and get them super loyal for other reasons as well? And then ahead of this time, because you've still definitely got time to prepare this, but optimize for the peak holiday trading period and Christmas period as well. Optimize your welcome series offer. What are you going to get people through the door in? Is there a hook or a discount or something that you can offer? Get your abandoned browser and abandoned cart flow set up, because that is where a lot of your revenue in the own channel or Klaviyo's channel via email is going to come from. And then get your post-purchase flow nailed. Remember that point I made earlier about fulfillment and experience as well. Get that post-purchase nailed. Cool. So thank you very much. I appreciate we're cutting through it at kind of lightning speed, but I'm going to invite my friend and partner Jason to the stage now, and we're going to be discussing really quickly making the most of Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Hey everybody, good to see everyone. Thank you, Rob. That was a really great overview of Klaviyo. So obviously, if you've been doing email marketing and SMS marketing for your e-commerce store currently, and you've been looking at a platform, or maybe you've even been using a platform like MailChimp or something like that, hopefully you will have seen what we've just gone through there, that Klaviyo is really about taking that to the next level. It's about really integrating all of those systems that you're using and making sure that you're bringing all of your data together and in a way that's really easy for you as the merchant to create really good, really strong, personalized experiences that are going to help drive conversions. So like Rob said, my slide today is going to be all about how you can make the most out of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And who am I, first of all, to be here talking to you about this and giving you advice and what you should be doing. So my name's Jason, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer at ANZen. And what does that mean? It means that I actually lead the production team at ANZen. So I am where the buck stops when it comes to actually delivering the work that we do. And when we talk about the work that we do, you know, what actually is ANZen? Well, ANZen is a customer journey agency. And so when we talk about the customer journey, what we're talking about is all of those experiences that you have, we would all have as consumers, right? From the first moment that we're introduced with a brand to being educated about the brand, making our first purchase, you know, that experience, then our repeat purchase experience in our lifetime. What ANZen does is break down all of the analytics about your store and find the best way and the best tools that you can use to convert those first-time website visitors into first-time customers and then keep them coming back. And as Rob said, we are a Klaviyo Master Elite partner. We're really excited to be the first and only elite partner in the APAC region. I think we were the first headquartered out of the US, so the first one that's headquartered in Asia to be invited into this really elite tier, which is really great. We're really excited and proud to be flying the flag for the APAC region for Klaviyo, which is obviously a huge company doing really amazing things for Shopify, which is of course the #1 platform for e-commerce. So what are we going to be talking about today? Well, today we're going to be talking about how you can build your email database, and if you don't have one, how you can also work on building your SMS database. We're going to talk about campaign strategies for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so how actually can you make the most out of your email and SMS strategy for this window. But we're also going to talk a little bit about your automated flows, so not just what can you do from a campaign point of view, but how can you actually build some personalization into your automations and then have those automations kicking goals for you while you're sleeping, while you're doing other things over Black Friday, hopefully packing lots and lots of orders so that you can actually get the most out of the weekend, but knowing Black Friday these days, the weeks leading up. So the first thing we're going to talk about is data capture and two-step forms. I've got a little GIF here that's playing to give you an idea of what I mean, but this is something that Rob touched on just before. So you probably have a pop-up on your website currently that captures maybe something like first name and email, like this example here we have for Runway Scout. So what we recommend to people is rather than just putting mobile into the first page of that form, what we don't want to do is impact the conversion rate of that form. That form might be performing really well at capturing emails, and we don't want to stop that. We don't want to interrupt that. So what we're going to do is after someone puts in their email, we're going to show them a second frame that then invites them to put their mobile number in. This is effective for two reasons. One, obviously it protects your email sign-up rate, which is great. It means that you're getting lots of sign-ups via email, but also it means that you're actually able to start building some segmentation. Someone who puts their mobile number in that second screen, you immediately know that that person is more engaged. They've probably got a high level of interest. And the fact that they've given you their mobile number means that when you're building out your flows, you can build an SMS series that's really tailored to driving them to conversion because they've given you that extra piece of information and you know that they're really keen to talk to you. The next thing that we can do from a data capture point of view that's really specific to the Black Friday period is exclusive data capture for Black Friday. So these are exclusive pop-ups that are going to give people access to your Black Friday sale. This is really good because what you don't want to do in the weeks leading up to Black Friday is start having to sacrifice sales now because everyone's obviously just going to be waiting until the sale starts, right? So what you don't want to have to do is be offering a discount today that is maybe going to be an extra discount over that Black Friday weekend and hampering your margins and ultimately costing you money. What you want to be doing is creating experiential offers that people are going to get a lot of value out of, and the most value that people are going to get is actually early access to your sale, knowing that they might get access to your sale 1 hour, 5 hours, 1 day even before the general public gets access. That's the sort of thing that if you're on a website in the week or 2 weeks leading up to Black Friday, that's the sort of thing that's really going to motivate you to sign up, and that as a brand is going to allow you to really build your audience quickly and build it substantially just by using a little bit of hype and a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of that fear of missing out. Those two things are going to let you to get a lot of subscribers and really build out a really great funnel for your Black Friday weekend without having to give away extra discounts on top of what you're already going to be giving out over Black Friday anyway. The next thing that we're going to talk about is actually creating dedicated data capture forms for SMS. So obviously if you're running a e-commerce brand currently in Asia, but you're selling into the United States, you're selling into Canada, you're selling into Australia, maybe even selling into the UK and Europe, a really great thing to do is to actually target your existing subscribers with an offer for them to give you their mobile number ahead of this sale period. This is really effective because especially with this messaging that we talked about, with this early access messaging, again, you're not giving away any sort of extra discount, but you are actually giving something of immense value, something that people can know, especially if you've got a product that might sell out, or if you market your product as something that may sell out. This is a really effective way to get people with that message, that FOMO message, that fear of missing out message, to get them to hand over that extra piece of permission, because they're going to be really keen to make sure that they're the first person to get on the website. And of course, they're going to want to receive that text message. And like Rob said in his part, when you talk about using SMS, you're talking about using it for things that are really timely. You don't want to annoy people by sending them SMS all the time, but what you want to do is send them a message where if you were the consumer, you would be thinking to yourself, I'd actually be really disappointed if I didn't get this message. And something that people are going to be really excited to receive, of course, is a message that tells them for the next 24 hours, you have access to a sale that nobody else has. That's the sort of thing that your customers are going to actually love you for. So we've got our data capture, we've been running that, over the next couple of weeks, and now we're looking at what are we going to actually do for the Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. So the first thing, obviously, we've just been promising early access to all these people to get them to give us our data. So the first thing that we're going to do is fulfill that promise, make good on that promise, and send an early access campaign. But along with all of those people that we may have gathered, we may have captured in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, what we also want to be doing is sending an early access campaign to our best customers. This again is really important. If you know that you have customers who've purchased more than 3 times or 4 times or 5 times, depending on your product, if you know that you've got that really loyal base of customers, if you surprise them with an early access message, that's the type of thing that's going to keep them around for another 4 or 5 or 10 orders in the future. But we can jump on to the next slide because talking about giving those people early access is actually the next strategy we want to talk about is segmenting your data. So like I said just then, we want to take those really VIP customers and give them an awesome experience. Well, the same thing might be said for other people. You might want to look at, and this is something that Klaviyo is a really powerful platform for. And like Rob said, it's more than just an email marketing software. It's a platform because it's talking to your e-commerce platform, because it's talking to the forms, because it's talking to platforms like Gorgeous, your help desk platform. It actually really understands your customers, and it gives you the ability to create segments. So you might want to create a segment for Black Friday of everyone who's submitted a support ticket but left a 3-star experience or a 2-star experience or something, or maybe they've submitted a support ticket for whatever reason, and offer them, send them early access to your sale and say, hey, I know that you have an active ticket with us, or you've had a previously closed ticket with us, and we really want to give you another opportunity to shop with the brand. So we want to give you 12 hours early access to the sale because we want you to be able to come back and experience the brand again. That's a really compelling message for those people. And it shows that you as a merchant are listening to feedback you might be getting, and you're willing to try and reach out to these people and show that you care. On the flip side, obviously, creating VIP send lists, maybe even high value send lists. You don't just want to include people that have submitted 4 orders. Maybe you've got someone who's submitted 2 orders, but the amount of money they've spent across those 2 orders, is actually quite a lot, and you want to include those people. You don't want to miss them. The other great audience that you might want to segment is an audience of people that haven't opened an email, haven't placed an order in more than 3 months or more than 6 months. This is that holiday period, that sale period. People are looking to spend money this time of year, but people are looking to spend money for all sorts of reasons. They might be looking to buy a gift, even if it's not for themselves. They may have purchased your product and liked it, but not be using it as much as you might intend, but it could be a really great reason to get them to come back and purchase again. And then the next thing that I'd say is a great thing to do on maybe, Cyber Monday. So right at the end of your sale is just create a segment of everyone that's abandoned a cart over the weekend and not placed an order, and then send them that last ditch effort email, because that's, again, going to be a really, really powerful message to say, guys, the sale is ending in 24 hours or 12 hours or, 6 hours, whatever it might be. Letting these people know that they've got this last chance to come back and shop while the sale is still going is so compelling. And, you think about it for yourself. If someone's dangling that discount in front of you and you know that you're going to lose it, it really creates that feeling for a lot of people that actually they're going to lose money if they don't take advantage of the offer today and make an order. So this is a really great way to take all those people who are on the fence, who've gotten all the way to adding something to their cart, but then just, maybe they've got distracted or something else has happened. This is a really great way to get them back in quickly and get them checking out. So we've talked about data capture, we've talked about campaigns. Let's get into the automated flows. And a big one, obviously, is abandoned cart. A great thing to do is to take your abandoned cart flow, and rather than just using your generic one, which might have other discounts in it and things like that you don't want to be offering over Black Friday on top of the discounts you're already offering, create a really dedicated series that really focuses in on fear of missing out. You want to make sure that these people are constantly getting hit with that message that if they don't check out today, they're going to lose their chance to make the most of the sale. The next thing is the post-purchase experience. A lot of people forget about this over Black Friday. You're going to be giving discounts away over this period, obviously, to try and attract new customers, but that's not all you want to do. You don't just want to get people purchasing once for 10 or 20 or 30% off. The most important thing is to get these guys back to actually purchase again in the future and be a long-term customer. So really think about what are the emails that they're going to get, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later. What can we do to make sure that they're actually going to stay a customer and purchase again in the future? And then after that, we're going to be looking at reviews. So Rob mentioned before, Klaviyo has a lot of integrations, and there's great reviews platforms out there. Akendo and Klaviyo have a fantastic integration. Akendo is a really, really great tool for gathering reviews, but also doing customer profiling. And that it allows you to do a lot in Klaviyo, but there's lots of other reviews platforms out there on Shopify. Whichever one you go with, really think hard about. You're going to be getting this weekend and really the month of November is probably going to be your peak sales period. You're going to get so many orders in this period. Think about what can you be doing to make sure that in December, in January, you're going to get the benefit of all of these reviews coming in that are going to mean that in January, February, March next year, your brand is going to look really appealing because new customers are going to come and see all of the reviews that you gathered over this window, and it's going to pay massive, massive dividends at the end because it's going to help you build a sustainable business. So those are all my automation tips. Those are all the things that you can do with Klaviyo. Rob's told you a little bit about the technical stuff. I've given you some ideas on the practical side of getting it in there. We'll make some quick room for questions if there were any in the chat. Otherwise, I know we've got a legendary speaker from Shopify about to kick off. So yeah, we can jump straight in.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Jason and Rob. That was fantastic. Klaviyo and Enzen. So what we'll do is these guys are in the chat. You can talk to them now. Felix, welcome.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Felix from Shopify. And yeah, I have like 20 minutes of my presentation today. And can you guys see the screen okay? Let me know.
Looking good.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Felix Chen, and I work in Shopify Southeast Asian team. I'm looking after the agency partners. So the agency partners are the partners that actually help our merchants building a website. So when Will in the previous sharing told us about the importance of having a website storefront, and when Robin and Jason are telling us how to really run an email campaign, how to really optimize your conversion rate. All these things are attached with having a good foundation of your business, which is a website. And Shopify is this kind of tool that will help you to build on a really, really good foundation for you to thrive in the future. And before starting my presentation, I would like to say thank you to Filta. Filta has always been a really, really great partner with Shopify, and they're not really like an agency partner that I introduced in the beginning, but they're actually that kind of partner that really forms a great foundation for our Shopify world. They look for good talents. They try to source for good resources in this world and put them on the right position. So everyone here today, I want to really let you guys know more about what Filta does, and do have in mind about when you need some resources or you think that there's anything that you could offer into the Shopify world, do reach out to them and look for some any kind of consultation or help from them, and they'll be able to give you a hand about that. Yep. And so today we're going to talk about the holiday selling, and I want to make it I want to finish this in 20 minutes. So I'm going to try to go through in a quite fast tempo, so people do open up your ears and try to follow up. The first thing that we want to share is about the agenda, and we're going to be talking about the conversion optimization and customer retention, and then some analytics. So it's going to be very tactical in nature, so that you can leave the workshop with actionable items to implement in your online stores. Okay. And first of all, let's talk about Shopify. This is some numbers and data about Shopify. We're 15 years old right now, and we have some really impressive numbers that has been shown here. And you guys will be able to have a lot of these, a peek about these numbers online as well. So I'll just skip this page. And so we're going into the BFCM seasons right now. We also saw like a very significant growth in adoption of Black Friday beyond the border of the United States, most notably like the UK, Spain, and South Africa, even in Southeast Asia right now, right? The effect of Alibaba, Lazada, Shopee, and even like Amazon, all these companies, they're having this kind of BFCM and Double 11 sales. This is like a really, really big sales season for us. So we really want to seize this chance to kind of boost our sales and win for the long term. And trying to echo with what Robert and Jason just shared in a previous sharing, we're seeing some really, really good numbers coming in from emails. And last year we looked at how different sources performed during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Email came in with the highest conversion rate at 4.29%, followed by search in second, While this doesn't mean that these channels were responsible for the most orders during BFCM only, but it does suggest that there are good sources to explore this year for qualified traffic. So when you are building up a website or starting up your own online store, do think about what are the marketing strategies you have in your mind, and what are the tools that you could use. And we have done a lot of sharing today. There are a lot of tools, plenty of tools that you can think about. Okay, and the biggest buys last year. Black Friday and Cyber Monday was an especially big win for the fashion and apparel industry in the past few years. You can see in this chart that happens to show that the apparel category had the most items purchased, followed by accessories and housewares. So these are something that you could think about if you're still thinking about what should I sell, what are the product lines that I have in my mind, what are the manufacturers that I am keeping in touch with. These are some ideas that you can think about if you're still planning to really start up a business and even thrive, probably not just for this year, but for the long term, probably in 2022 and for another multiple year business. Okay, and so now moving to how do we prepare for the holiday and what do you need to expect? How can you ensure that your business is ready for the biggest shopping day of the year and the unofficial start to the holiday season? Let's talk about what you can do to ensure your store in this best position possible to not only succeed and make a lot of money during the holiday season only, but also minimize the stress and headaches this season can potentially bring you as a business owner. Okay. So first of all, we're going to be talking about inventory preparation and sales projection. These things should be top of mind coming into holiday season, right? As production lead time tend to span many months, and typically you take these steps when planning for inventory for the holiday season. You need to analyze historical sales and inventory data, project sales goals and inventory requirement, align with your team about the goals, and also you need to purchase your inventory. So if this is your first BFCM, which means that you probably will need to engage with your audience, ask how many are new or how many are the new ones that you're going to be engaging with that you never kept in touch with. What is the image that you really want to spread out in the market? What do you want people to think about you as a brand? What kind of value do you want to convey to the people that visit your website, right? You probably won't have too many historical data to look back on because this is your first time, but you can search on Google, have some data analysis from Facebook for generic BFCM sales in your vertical to give you a sense of what to expect. And this is a great way to start and do the planning and think about what are the right things to do. Okay. Yep. And the next one, we're going to be talking about the important metrics. So inventory and sales projections can be challenging and vary greatly from business to businesses, right? And so the most reliable data to build upon is historical data. Here are some reports that you'll want to look at. First of all, is sales by month. So what are the fluctuations? I can give you guys some data. According to what we see in the past Q4, only in Q4, we're going to be seeing 50% of the sales throughout the whole year. So we're now actually at the really, really high peak of the year. Do plan and try to start your business and try to get a dip about what it tastes in this market. Yeah. And secondly, it's assessed by product. What are the things that people like? What are the things that people don't like? If you're selling cross-border, if we're in the Philippines right now, but we want to sell to where Narisa is, we want to sell into Australia. What's the seasonality? What are the things that we should be keeping in mind of, right? For example, it's always hot in the Philippines. It's probably going into winter in like Japan and all these markets, but it's getting into summer in the South. So what are the things, how can you kind of like manage and think about what are the resources that you could be using, how you should come up with your own strategy. And this will help you plan for the coming months. And note that holiday events see on average about 3 to 4 times of the daily sales. So this is a chance that you could just rest assured and start your business and try to get into this wild world. Yep. And next one, we're going to be talking about the web performance. There are 3 points. The first one is test page speed and identify areas for improvement and consider holiday optimized theme. So page speed optimization might be the single biggest factor in your Black Friday, Cyber Monday performance because you don't want your site to crack down or not being able to process any kind of order during this kind of really important time, right? A 1 second delay in page load time has been found to yield a 7% loss in conversion. So many people are starting up a website and they think like opening up a website for 3 seconds per web page, it doesn't really look like a big problem, but actually in the reality that will make you lose almost 1/5 of your probable conversion rate. So this is something that you really need to keep in mind. You can test your page speed performance using a tool like Pingdom, or like you can even just search on Google for test website speed and get a sense about how fast it's opening up, how many codes are there written in this web page, how do you want to optimize it, right? And the second point, identify areas of improvement and communicate with your front-end developer. If you don't have one, you can use our Shopify experts directory to find a partner agency to work with. Or if you really want to know what we can offer you, you can also reach out to our support as well. And also the last point, you can discuss the possibility of a holiday optimized theme for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It would be a simpler version optimized specifically to convert your customer. So that's also a strategy that people hold. Yep. And the next one is web page web performance optimization. So I won't go into too much detail, but I wanted to provide a quick overview of some of the speed optimization improvement that we found to have biggest impact on our merchants. Don't worry too much about taking notes here. We'll be sending out like resources of emails that will include details of all of these points. If you're a Shopify merchant, you basically get all of these things from time to time, and these are always been talked about. So the first is you need to optimize your image. Image are often the largest assets on your page, so you need to ensure that are optimized to reduce your page size. So you can use like JPGs for more assets and use an image compressing tool. Make sure that it doesn't take too much of a time on loading. And also like combine multiple CSS and JavaScript files. This is a quick win that allows fewer HTTP requests. So you don't need to be a coding wizard in most cases. It's as simple as copy and paste, and there will be instruction in the resources if you look for Shopify expert as well. And the third one is minimize DNS lookup. This might sound a little bit techy, but this can become an issue as your store become more feature rich. So you want to talk to an expert to minimize. If you have a lot of these features built on your web page, what do you need to do to minimize this and make sure that it doesn't make your page lag? Reduce the apps and minimize redirection. These are all the things that I really need to put an eye on to make sure that doesn't really drag back the speed. And the next page, we're talking about labor debt. And labor debt is something that sounds probably not that intuitive, but this is a term used to describe a situation where there is a shortage of staff compared to the amount of work that needs to be done. So as part of your holiday sales preparation, we suggest identifying most time-consuming areas of each team member's role and projecting how Black Friday, Cyber Monday will impact this. So there are some potential areas of debt that we always think about. First, like customer support or fulfillment and logistics and platform management. So there are many cases that you probably will think of. These are really labor intense, but in the reality, there are actually many apps that will be able to help you to automate a lot of these flows, simplify a lot of these processes. Speaking of email marketing or having mass communication using email, Klaviyo is one of the tools that we always think of, and they could also help you to reduce some of the labor that you might have in mind. Yep. And so the next part, we're talking about holiday conversion optimization. And the holiday conversion optimization is basically some page factors that you would really want to keep in mind to show it when you're setting up your web page. And there are some points I'm just going to go through in the interest of time. So I see Kemp asking a question about image compressing. You can basically there's a Shopify tool called I think you can search for Shopify tool and image compress. There's a tool from Shopify that does that perfectly. So you can search on that directly. And so there are some on-page factors, and you'll be able to add some lift into your conversion. So telling people that things are they're a little less, like scarcity or some social proof. These are the things that we really recommend you guys to put on your webpage when you are trying to plan and sell. And the pricing consideration is something that I would like to share with you guys a little bit more in detail today. The first rule is called the rule of 100. This is something that happens in the US or in some other countries that's more matured in doing branded websites. And this rule is basically telling people that if something costs more than 100, show them the absolute value of the discount. For example, if it's $120 USD, if you want to do a 10% discount, tell people that this is like $12 off, like $12 cheaper. But the other way around, if it's like a $10 product and you want to give them like a 10% off, you don't tell people that it's $1 cheaper. You need to tell them that it's 10% off. So the threshold is set at 100 in the US dollar or euro or Australian dollar world. But if it's in Southeast Asia, it probably depends on our different currencies. So in peso, I would say if it's like, say, more expensive than 1,000, we can go for the absolute value strategy. If it's cheaper than 1,000 peso, we can go for the percentage kind of strategy. This is something that makes play with the psychological place in our mind that will let people feel like, oh, I've earned more, and it's more lucrative for them. And the second point it was on the page, priority page, was provide reasons for a discount. And I think this is really some kind of like a softer way to sell through your stuff. Instead of telling people, hurry, Black Friday deal, save 50% all weekend, you could tell people like, okay, it's a holiday sale. You can save your 50% site-wide. We're sacrificing our profits so we can spread more joy this holiday season. So this is something that's more soft, and people will feel like you are actually standing with us to celebrate the holiday with us. And in the Philippines right now, we basically we know that Christmas is one of the biggest holiday throughout the whole year in the Philippines, right? So we really want to feel the sense of solidarity. We want to feel that we're taken care of, that these brands are standing in our shoes to understand what we really need. So these kind of strategies are really, really a good plus onto your business and how you position your own brand. Yeah. And the third point is sell pricing strategy. So in this point, we want to touch base on how you really want to show your products on your website. You probably want to show them that you're sincerely really showing them a discount. So you show up with the original price and also let them know what we're charging them right now. So that's a way I also try to attract them to buy more. And the last point is discount code. So discount code is basically a strong feature that a lot of these our Shopify merchants use, but this depends on your strategy. You can use a percentage discount, a free shipping discount, or a buy X get Y discount. This really depends on what you want to do, and you can also specify the dates for which code is valid, the number of times the code can be used, a minimum order amount, or which product collections or variants that the discounts could be applied to. So these are really, really flexible. You can think about how you really want to propose that kind of deals for your buyers. Yep. So the last part, now we're hopping into increasing average order value. I think we're really likely to finish this presentation in 5 minutes, so I'm going to leave more time for Narisa. Yeah. So according to some statistics shown that I have some numbers about American expenditures, how much they spend. Each American spends over $300 during the Thanksgiving weekend. I know Thanksgiving is probably not a big thing in Asia, but when it comes to like Halloween and Christmas, it's more about the same. We spend a lot of money during this kind of seasons, and we want to enjoy and get indulged with this kind of festive atmosphere, right? So these are some incentives that we could try to use to optimize our average order value. The first one is free shipping. So free shipping incentives basically, if you think of yourself as a buyer when you're buying on a website and you're finally really excited to check out and you figure out there's another extra shipping cost, you probably would not buy it, right? So free shipping is actually a very important thing that we always emphasize on. And product bundling and upselling. What are the things that usually are bought together? How can you upsell them all at the same time? That's a really, really strong strategy that you really need to think about. Yep. And so now we're talking about some important dates. So this year, I think we always need to get prepared. Of course, in Asia, we have Double 11, right? So that's something that we need to focus on. We can also sell through that. But look into some other important dates throughout the rest of the time of the year. You can always put an eye on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And there's also another day that I would like to shed some light onto it. It's called the Free Shipping Day. It's probably not really well known, but Free Shipping Day is a one-day event that occurs in mid-December. On this day, participating merchants and retailers offer free shipping on in-stock items to guarantee deliver orders. It could be delivered by Christmas Eve. So this is also another checkpoint that we could utilize and play with to let people feel like, oh yeah, we're Christmas is around the corner. We need to order a lot of stuff, and for kids, for our family, and celebrate. These are also really good ways to kind of encourage people to buy stuff. Yep. And so I think these are the rest of the time of the year, and there are a lot of things that we need to do in order to get prepared for selling more stuff. But this is really just the top of the iceberg. There are a lot of ways that you could really come up with as a brand owner, and how you want to share, how you want to position yourself. But because of the time, we have limited time. So I'm thinking of, I can share some kind of additional resources with you guys. These are some, we have 24/7 support. We also have a BFCM toolbox. It's www.shopify.com/BFCM. If you have any questions, you can also hop on that. And help.shopify.com, shopify.com/blog. These are all really good resources that would able to give you more insights about how you should run your business or how you can do better. Yep. And I know there are some questions that I've received. It's basically more generic. If you guys have any questions, you could totally raise it up in chat right now. I'll try to answer it right now. And we only have 4 minutes left, so I'm going to let Marisa take it over and try to announce some winners.
Thank you so much, Felix. That was really great.
Thank you.
Guys. We will now play the entry of What's Your Dream online store winner. A huge congratulations to Maria and Ruth Tambawan. Congratulations.
Woo!
Also, congratulations to our top 20 emoji competitions winners. So I already put it in the chat box on the side. So make sure to check it out if your names are there. And that is a wrap. We value your time for joining us today this Saturday. Maraming salamat po and thank you. Risa.
Muting myself right at the end. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's a wrap. Virtual Shopify Philippines. Woo! Bye.
Bye guys. Happy holidays.
Calling all small business owners, meet Communicart, a Rappler-led initiative where small businesses can advertise on Rappler's platforms at affordable rates. Get featured on our socials or through a listicle. How about an article? Let Rappler's discerning audience know about your business. Email us at communicart@rappler.com for more information.
You bring the world to people's doorsteps, whether it's their favorite dishes, much-needed essentials, or a quick retail pick-me-up. And now, you get to not only make it easier and more convenient for your customers, but also more securely. Thanks to PayMaya's payment solutions. Your presence online has earned you constant customers. And it's now easier for them to buy what they want and need from you. PayMaya checkout can be easily integrated with your website to give your customers a secure and hassle-free payment experience. And if you're using an e-commerce platform like Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, or Cafe24, there is PayMaya checkout plugins to make online payment fuss-free. But even if you don't have a website, PayMaya still makes it easy for you to reach out to your customers with PayMaya Digital Invoice, where you can send a digital payment link or a digital payment QR through chat, text, or your social media account. What's more, by being a PayMaya merchant, your branded shop can be found at the Maya Mall inside the PayMaya app, instantly reaching millions of customers. But it's not just payments that PayMaya has made more convenient. Managing and monitoring all transactions are done on a single dashboard with PayMaya Manager. And once you've closed the deal, the payments you receive are credited to your account the next business day. You're building an empire, providing essential services, or just answering the demands of the people. Whatever it is, PayMaya is here to help you grow your online business.
She's not just beautiful. She's a force to be reckoned with.
I woke up feeling on top of the world, like nothing's ever gonna bring.
She shouldn't be put in a box, for she's extraordinary.
Got me flying high as a bird. I may never touch the ground.
She can be everything she wants to be, because she is a hero.
Cause it's a good day, good life. I just wanna celebrate.
She is unstoppable.
Big